Victor Wembanyama on Monday was named NBA's Defensive Player of the Year, becoming the youngest player to claim the award and the first in NBA history with unanimous voting. According to ESPN, the Rockets are optimistic forward Kevin Durant will play tomorrow against the Lakers after missing Saturday's Game 1 with a deep bruise in his knee. Playoff continue tonight. Cavs and Raptors tipping off at 7 p.m. Eastern. NFL wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. met with his former team, the New York Giants, and had a workout and a physical, potentially signaling a reunion. However, sources say no signing appears imminent. Dodgers closer Edwin Diaz is set for elbow surgery, according to reports on Monday. Procedure is to remove loose bodies in his right elbow. He could miss around 3 months. Baseball scoreboard, Tigers fell to the Red Sox 8-6. Cardinals and Marlins scoreless in the middle of the second inning. I'm Chris Perfett.
I've been covering this league since 1987.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Nah.
That's right.
Live
Come
from the
on
Fox
in.
Sports Radio studios.
Crazy.
Here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob
With
Parker
that
and Kelvin
password,
Washington.
you now have full access to this very fine radio program for the next 3 hours.
Not 2, not 3, not 4.
Thank you,
not
LeBron.
5,
No matter how
not
you
6,
listen in.
Not 7. And when I say that, I really believe it.
Fox Sports
I'm not
Radio.
just up here blowing smoke at none of these fans because that's not what I'm about.
Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports. No, not yet. FoxSportsRadio.com. The iHeartRadio app, Sirius XM channel 83, and yes, now live on YouTube. It is a Magic City Monday. That's right. Say my name. Rob
Parker.
There we go. Say his name.
Kelvin Washington.
And we are indeed the Odd Couple again on this Magic City Monday. Guess what? You'll need our phone number because we are, without question, the most listener-friendly national sports talk radio show on the planet. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate that. At least when people are still awake. Sorry about that, Ben. I know you have a lot of people listening when they're napping or sleeping, but it's all good. All right, write it down, commit it to memory, 877-99 on Fox. For you laymen out there, it's 877-996-6369. And if you hear feedback when you do call in, it's your own fault.
To turn down the radio.
It means just one thing, and that's right. Perry Mason just said it. You forgot to turn down the radio. And if you're calling here and have a problem with what we say to you, tough. And with all that said, always remember all right, I guess we can't hear Kelvin. Is Kelvin not potted up? Do we hear him? Kelvin, are you talking? No, we can't hear Kelvin. Let's go. Big show. Let me welcome in my host. He is Kelvin Washington. No.
Seems to the Gremlins might have gotten to Kelvin real quick. I'll see what's going on.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm sitting right here.
All right, we got you. We couldn't hear you.
I've been sitting here screaming. I done sweet PD. I done hit you with the.
We didn't hear
I done hit you with Rob Parker. I hit you with ping, ping, ping. Y'all didn't hear none of.
We didn't hear any of it. And
Come on, man.
It's all good. How are you?
I'm fired up. I was all telling you. I not 1, not 2, not 3. I was ready to roll. What's up with you, bro?
All good. I know you had a lot of doubts. I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to belabor the point.
What's that about?
But you You doubted that I was going to be able to lose 51 pounds. You just said it wasn't going to happen. I just want you to know March 3rd is when I started this. Down 2-0 already, 20 pounds. And today I started with my trainer, Valentino from Equinox. And you know what? I'm ready to go. He's going to help me get the other 31 pounds off, flatten that stomach, and here I'll be ready to roll come August 10th. So I'm right there. I got 16 weeks. I'll keep you updated on social media. You'll be able to see the progress, but today was the first workout, feeling good. So I guess Kelvin is not gone again. Is he disappeared? Okay. All right, let's welcome in the Odd Couple crew. We wouldn't be able to do this fine radio program without him. Shay is our producer, in for Rob G.
What is going on up in there?
I have no idea. Mark is our engineer, in for Alex. And
with that, go ahead.
USC Chris is on the updates. In for Steve DeSager, I guess for the most part. Steve is always here. But anyway, we got a great crew here, ready to go on a Magic City Monday, and a lot to get to, don't we? And don't forget about our YouTube channel. I should say that. Of course, we appreciate all the people who have jumped in and subscribed. If you haven't done so, you have a chance. Make sure you go. Just search Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. After you do that, tap the thumbs up icon, comment away. Again, go check out the YouTube channel. Watch us live right now tonight. You could do that. Just search Odd Couple FSR and subscribe.
Congrats on the weight loss, too, by the way. Is what I was trying to say. I don't know what's going on up there. But, yeah, I'm not mad at you. Now, I am mad at you. You know what? I'm mad at you now, but I won't be come August. You put the stomach out there. That did catch me off guard. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, okay. But I love it. I'm
being honest. If
you're being transparent.
I
love it.
If I'm going to hire a trainer and say I'm working on flattening my stomach and losing 31 pounds, I got to, you know what I mean? Otherwise,
I love it.
What's the point?
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. And here's the thing, by the way. I told you of all the people who it's not a believe you that you couldn't, that you wouldn't put the effort in, right? It was that, remember, when we first talked about it, me and Rob G did not know you were going to get that trainer, that extra 10, you know what I mean? Because I knew you could get 35, 40. You've done that. But that extra 10, that trainer is definitely going to get you right with that. So congrats. I know you can do it, brother. I know it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And, yeah.
You're really about to be out here in these streets, by the way.
Don't forget, we got a big convention coming up.
We might not even see you that. You might be in the streets of Atlanta.
All right. Let's go here. Let's start here. And, Kelvin, I know you had to be your panties were in a bunch last night. Not
they
happy.
were.
Seriously.
Yeah, the panties were in a bunch. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the Pistons, I mean, it was a bad loss. They lost by 11 points at home. They were like 8.5-point favorites. I mean, that's a big loss. Very few thought that the Pistons would lose game one to the Magic.
Yeah. For me, a couple of things. The Pistons, what they're going to have to realize, and I think they got educated on that, Rob, is that just showing up, being the Pistons, who have been a number one seed for just about wire to wire this whole season in the East, and showing up and every night playing hard and kind of punking some teams, right, and punching people in the mouth, that has been their brand of basketball, along with a top, wherever you want to put Cade, 7 to 10, 11 player in the league, depending on where you want to put them. That has been what they've done. But the difference is they ran into an Orlando team that we talked about this last week with Rob G. Orlando's finally healthy. You got Franz Wagner, who is back, who missed 47 of 51 of the last 51 last games for them, now he's back. Paolo's playing great. Wendell Carter's playing great. Jalen Suggs playing great. So they're back fully healthy, saying they're the team. This is how we were supposed to be last season or throughout this season, where people had higher expectations of us. And I think the Pistons came in a little lax, Rob. They had a week off because they locked up that number one seed. A few of the games, even before the season ended, didn't really matter for them in the sense that I think they just were cruise control. And they're playing an Orlando team that has been fighting for their playoffs lives. In fact, fighting for their play-in lives. And I think they've been kind of in that playoff mode the last 2 weeks, a week and a half at least. So they came in hot, ready. They had to beat the Hornets to get to this point. So they've been in that. The Pistons came in. They looked a little lax in the beginning. They looked a little punched, shell-shocked, and they got punched in the mouth. And I think they're not used to being punched. So this was actually a good wake-up call for them because they got punched and punked. And I wanted to say in the Palace, but it's the Little Caesars Arena now. So they didn't get offensive rebounds. The Magic held them to 6 offensive rebounds. That's what Jalen Duren does and the rest of the B. Stewart and those guys do. They got held off the glass. They didn't turn the Magic over like they normally turn teams over. They led the league in like points off turnovers and fast breaks points. They didn't get any of those usual things. And last point, the thing that we all know is a bit glaring is if Cade Cunningham isn't scoring a lot, where are you going to get it from? He had basically 39 points, but you didn't get much from your all-star, Jalen Duren. 33 minutes, he took 4 shots, Rob. If this were Karl-Anthony Towns, I would be making fun of him. I would be disappointed in him. I would be calling him out. So I'm calling out Jalen Duren, and first-time all-star, one of their best players, if not the second best. 8 points, only 4 attempts, minus 21 in the plus-minus. He did not come to show up. Wendell Carter outplayed him. The big men and just the size of the Magic shocked Detroit, and they got punked at home. So I'm not overly worried for them. I think it'll be a 6-game series. I think they thought in their mind the Hornets, which they would have easily been able to handle. And so, but credit to Orlando. They came out tough. They came out hard. They got out to a lead, and just a jump of physicality that the Pistons couldn't overcome. But they got to show up. And Cade showed up, eventually just kind of taking over. But it wasn't enough from Duren specifically, and they got out-toughed and out-punked and got punked at home. And I think they'll show up game 2. But credit Orlando for a nice win.
I got out of that that a lot of people in Detroit, and I saw all the social media stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're disrespecting the Pistons. They won 60 games, and nobody's picking them. And there's a lot of reasons why. And I saw a lot of those reasons we talked about during the season. And winning games during the regular season, because the thing I'll give the Pistons credit is that they play hard the whole season. Everybody in the league doesn't play like that. So you can win a lot of games, Kelvin, because people don't play like that. They played hard. You get into the postseason, it's a different animal. And the idea that the Pistons could somehow, for a team that hasn't won a home playoff game since 2008, could come in and be laissez-faire and not think like the first thing you want to do and not lead ever in the game. They didn't lead one time. It hasn't happened since like 1996 or 7 that a number 1 seed didn't lead at any point in the game, which is incredible. Seriously. And the thing that I would be worried about is Cade scores 39 at home and you still get blowed out. Because they got blowed out to me. They lost by 11. It felt worse. Like they just couldn't get over the hump. And my point is that team feels like Cade and other guys. And I get it during it was an all-star, and you expect better from him. But there are too many nights in the playoffs where your star player scores you 39 points at home and you don't win. What's he got to score, 50? Does he have to score 50 points in game 2 on Wednesday for them to have a chance to win? And what the other thing is, they gave the Orlando Magic some extra cushion. Not only did they take away home court, they have nothing to lose on Wednesday. They can go for the jugular. That's a scary place to be. The Pistons have to win, right? So they like might be on their toes if they get down early or the crowd turns on them. There's all kinds of stuff that goes in there, but I'm just saying that's not the place you want to be. You want to beat, have home court, get off to a good start in the playoffs. Again, they didn't win one playoff game against the Knicks last year at home. You remember that?
Which is so odd because, like, how do you go to New York of all places and win a couple? Like that's
what I'm saying.
That's strange.
But they haven't been able to win at home, and I think that there's a little bit of panic here in a team that hasn't won anything yet, trying to get there, hasn't won a playoff series since 2008 again. What is it, 18 years or whatever? They haven't won a playoff series.
08.
Since in 18.
Well, 08 when the last time they won, they
last
got
time
to
they
the
won
Western Conference Final
right.
or Eastern Conference Final, yeah.
So all I'm saying is that was a really bad loss for me. Just looking at the Pistons, thinking about all that they accomplished was basically like one game into it. You know what I mean? Where people question, and now I say this: people who were questioning the Pistons and where they really fit in, they got validated. And I know it's only one game, and they should win the series, or at least that's the expectation. But they have put themselves in a spot that if somehow, some way, Orlando wins Game 2, just like you remember the Knicks and the Pacers, and I know it's different, but the Knicks and Pacers, the Knicks, remember they blew Game 1? They'll come back and they'll win. No, they lost Game 2 at home, and then all of a sudden change the entire series. And that can happen when one team wins a game that they're not supposed to. Yes, they were supposed to split, but no, the Pistons weren't supposed to lose Game 1 and look the way that they looked. I thought it was very disappointing.
To me, I'm looking more further in the sense that I think they'll bounce back Game 2. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. You know what I mean? Again, they were off a week. They played a very, very team that plays very tough, play hard, and it got some nice sides to them as well. I think the Pistons are used to, like I said, bully ball and everybody else, and they just wasn't standing for it. Credit Orlando for that. But I'm not in panic mode yet. I think that's what Game 2 is for. You win that, you're back. You feel like you got your mojo back. We let one slide, we're good. You go to Orlando feeling good. You're number one wire to wire for a reason. Game 2 is obviously going to be the critical one. But I do think it did expose, if I'm Boston or the Knicks or the Cavs or one of these teams feel like they might see the Pistons next round or in the Eastern Conference Finals. And it's something we've talked about. It does expose that if you're so Cade reliant, and even if Cade drops 40,
you can still
beat them. Still only muster up 101 points. And that to me is something that I think the Pistons should be looking at, like, oh, shoot. And other teams are saying, that's interesting that, again, your guy played very well. He played very well. He was the only one who was even. I think everybody else was like minus crazy, minus 15, minus 21, minus 41. He was minus 1. So, he kept them in it. But 40, and you still can only score 101. So I think it was a bit more glaring. And this is why when you keep trying to push me in the corner, I keep telling you, Boston is what worries me, because you'd have to play infinitely better than that against a team that's been to 2 finals and has won one of them,
all
for
right.
sure.
877-99
But no
on
panic
Fox.
yet. Game 2, you win, you're fine.
877-996-6369. What the Pistons exposed last night? They got punked, according to Kelvin. I think they got exposed. I think that the Pistons are Cade Cunningham and a bunch of football players. And they can be tough, but can they make shots? And we saw they don't always make shots. And we talked about it all year. They're shooting, they're other players. And are you still buying the Pistons? Did people have a right not to buy into them? Or was this just one game and you're going to let it go? 877-99 on Fox. We want to hear from you. It is the Odd Couple on a Magic City Monday. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay America.
That's right, Rob. Let me tell them about Maryland. We've been educating you on all the great possibilities they have for you. So if you, listen up, want to take the next step towards your future with an affordable online degree or certificate from University of Maryland Global Campus, an accredited state university. Classes start May 13th, and when you apply now, your application fee is waived. Choose from over 135 skills-based programs and earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Don't forget, you can save now with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Visit umgc.edu to learn more.
Yes, sir. LeBron James making his 23rd playoff appearance coming up on Saturday night against Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets. Shorthanded Lakers against Houston. Nobody's expecting the Lakers to win that series, and as a result, The Athletic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that?
The Athletic did a long-form piece on Friday that discussed, what's next for LeBron if and when the season ends in the next couple of weeks here. And in it, Dan Wojcicki and Sam Amick, both very reputable reporters, said that people close to LeBron and LeBron himself still maintain even now that they're not sure if he's going to retire this season. And on top of that, if he does decide to come back next season, you still won't know whether or not it's going to be his last year because he has no interest in a farewell tour.
I just can't believe that. That would be so unlike. It would be changing everything that this guy has done. From the press conference, I'm taking my talents to South Beach, to the chosen one on his back. Just everything is out loud. Everything. He has a patch on his. He's the only one with a patch, right, on his uniform about his 22nd season in the big. So now all of a sudden he's going to go out with a whimper, and it's not going to be a big deal, and he's not going to want a coronation or acknowledgement of what he was able to do and try to solidify in some people's mind, the young people who never saw Michael Jordan, that he's the greatest. Like, I just don't believe that he's going to go out in that fashion. It's hard for me to buy into that. It just is. Because if that was the case, there would be no patch on his uniform right now. There just wouldn't be.
Well, I don't know. We talk about the patch. I still don't. Adam Silver just wanted to honor him and give it to him. I don't quite know what that was. I agree with you.
He could have said, no, what is this? If it's for everybody, who's ever seen a patch for one player? I've never seen that.
I'm agreeing with you. I don't recall. Maybe
Ever.
There's something I'm missing. There's some history maybe. But here's where I totally get your sentiment. It makes sense. LeBron, listen, don't nobody love LeBron like LeBron love LeBron. I'm totally with you on that. The only difference I'll have if I have to, something changed over the last year or so, and we've talked about it, where it seems like clearly not everyone's been a fan of, right? Not everybody loves him. That's just life in general. Not everybody's going to love you. But it does seem like the narrative kind of changed, right? Like as if the league or parts of it, especially before the Lakers really went on their run, were over him, right? It felt like maybe there was something too where they were like kind of over him and tired of the shenanigans, tired of the, like you mentioned, the patch, tired of these things. And I think there could be a part of him, Rob, where because it's not going to be 100% of everybody being like, oh my gosh, LeBron, farewell, we're going to miss you. And I think he knows that. And I think there might be a smattering of boos or go away. It's been 23 and next year will be 23, 24 years. I think he actually would not do it because it would not be 100% in support of him. You get what I'm saying? Like when Jordan retired, the entire league, everywhere you go, they honored him. It was a big deal. Even Kareem, you had other teams giving him gifts. I think just the way it is now, LeBron maybe stayed as welcome, past as welcome for some players, some fans, some teams, some organizations. I just don't think it would be all cheers at everywhere. And I think LeBron wouldn't want those optics of it not being 100% flattery everywhere I go. So I think there's a chance he'd rather just say, forget it.
See, I can't see that. I hear your point, and that's obvious. But everybody shouldn't love him. It doesn't work like that. There were teams that he beat. There are other situations and circumstances. He left Miami. He left Cleveland, went back like that. Like I get that the 25 straight points against Detroit. But that's about being a great player, and that everybody's not going to love you at all times. But you did your thing, and even the fair. I'm just saying from this standpoint that he believes and has said that he's the GOAT and has all these fans. It would be a slap in the face to his fans to bow out like that because you don't want to hear a handful of people booing you or not being all in. What about the cheers? You can't tell me that they're not. There are a lot of people who just grew up with LeBron who are on the LeBron. They're LeBron minions. So you're going to discount them because 30% of the audience isn't down with your farewell?
Can I give you an example?
Because you're never going to get a 100%.
But Michael Jordan did, right? And Larry Bird, guys who kind of we knew it was their end, did. And I think it was a different era where, this being a New Yorker, we can scream, hate, you, but man, daggone it, we're going to show love and respect. And Madison Square Garden is one of the greatest places at that. They will boo you the whole night if you're a Knicks fan. And if you just had one of those nights where LeBron dropped 60, Kobe dropped 60, Steph Curry, I think, hit for 60 before. Like all these guys, Jordan, double nickel his first year back. That same Knicks fan base will actually applaud you.
But they have decided that on Saturday, when every other team is playing on Prime and you got to pay big money just to watch it, the marquee game of the night, the marquee first-round matchup, KD versus LeBron, Part 4. These guys are going at it again. Now, when they go head-to-head, it's usually fireworks. LeBron averages 32, 10, and 9. KD averages 32, 8, and 5. They're both, according to ESPN, the only duo in NBA history to meet in 10 or more playoff games and each average over 30 points per game. Now, KD's got the head-to-head matchup, 2 series to 1, 9-5 overall. And by all indications, he's going to make it 3-1 because the Rockets are heavily favored against the Lakers.
Give me KD any day of the week against LeBron James. We've seen him on the big stage produce. We've seen him go at LeBron, make big shots in LeBron's mug. I'm all about KD, even at this advanced stage for both of them.
Magic City, Monday. Looking forward to our guest coming up in a handful of minutes here. Anthony Munoz, Hall of Fame offensive tackle with the Bengals, getting ready to join us here in a little bit. Looking forward to that, having a conversation with him as we get closer to the draft coming up in a few days. And by the way, if you missed any of today's show, be sure to catch the podcast. Just search The Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast. Please follow it, rate it 5 stars, provide us a review, and just search The Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast, and you'll see a full version of the show and a best version of the show, best of version, right after we get off and stop yakety yakking. Shay will get that up for you. So go check out the podcast. We appreciate it. All right, I said, listen, man, the Pistons, they got punked. They came into Detroit, and Orlando Magic punked them. Rob said they got exposed. Panic time, just a game. What say you? 877-99 on Fox. Let's take some calls, Rob. Who we got?
All right, Chili Tim in Atlanta. You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Chili?
What up, man? I'm actually in Hawaii. I was there last week, and I'm here this week.
How was that? Very nice.
Big.
Yeah, man. I got one more week to go. So.
Beautiful. I love
That's
Hawaii.
their retirement life, boy.
That's very nice. Beautiful. Beautiful.
But I kind of agree with Kelvin a little bit. I'll give that a 7 because I just think maybe, because like the end of the season, that maybe they were in kind of cruise control. I just don't see the Magic putting together the consistency. Even though they may have been injured throughout the year, I just seen them be so inconsistent. I just don't really trust them. I trust the Pistons a little more than I do the Magic. So I'm at a 7, but definitely if they lose game 2, then you go all the way to 15. So it's at a 7 right
The only
now.
reason I'm gonna disagree with you, Chili, is that they finally have their team together. People had expectations for the Magic, and they were never together. They were never fully put together. And that's the scary part, is that they went into Detroit and every time the Pistons rallied, Kelvin, you know this, they came and they answered it. Like, they weren't afraid. They could have rolled over and been like, okay, yeah, we were playing. We're not really that good. No, they answered it. They led the entire game. They never trailed in that game.
You know what I didn't like, Rob?
Thanks for the call, Chili.
Shout out to Chili. Enjoy Hawaii. You know what I didn't like, Rob? For the first time, J.B. Bickerstaff, I didn't like his approach. He was acting like Paolo Banchero was like peak Bernard King in the 80s, or, peak somebody like he was Karl Malone in the 90s. They were watching him, zoning him every time he got the ball. I'm like, let him earn that respect from you. They gave him so much respect as if he's been some dominant figure in the playoffs. He ended with 23. Now, they were a good 23. It looked better than that if you watched the game.
Right.
But, early on, they were doubling him or putting this weird zone and being lazy with it. Guys were getting back cuts and open threes. So I think it was one of the few times I've seen J.B. Bickerstaff and the Pistons just kind of overthink things.
It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. All of a sudden, things change.
Like, dude, you saw that, Rob? They were acting like you know what I mean? Like this was game 6, and he'd been putting up 35 a night on. Okay, right. Now I see that. Dude, it's the first game. Go ahead.
Let's squeeze one more in because we got Anthony Munoz coming up after the update. But first, let's check in with Kevin in Culver City, California. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Kev?
God is good.
All the time.
Man, you got my boy Anthony Munoz coming in from East LA, East LA's finest. Love it.
Coming up next.
Check this out. Here's the problem with Detroit. They're looking in the mirror at themselves. Orlando's young. They're athletic. They got athletic wings. Banchero, they got two stars, Banchero, Wagner. They got Desmond Bain, who can sit out there and shoot threes.
Yes,
they
he
got
can.
a defensive guard who can get up, not guard, but he could get up in Cunningham's space in Anthony Black and Jalen Suggs. They got a big Wendell Carter Jr. who could bang with Durant. They're a mirror of themselves, even to the coaching. Jamal Mosley and Bickerstaff are similar.
They do look like they could be cousins.
It's a bad matchup, and we always talk about the matchups in basketball. This is a bad matchup for the Pistons. I thought Charlotte would have been different because you had guys you got to go after like Kneppel and Ball, but this is a different animal right here. Orlando was one of the favorites in the East before the season started, and it looks like they're peaking at the right time.
That's what I'm saying is like people, you know what, Kevin? People thought that when they made that trade for Bain, right? That was like, oh my God, they got the piece that they need. And so people were excited about the Magic, and then they had kind of a ho-hum season. And now everybody's together, and then they go and get game one. You just got to be careful about giving teams confidence, Kelvin. You know that. No,
I think it's going to be – I don't care. I think the Pistons win at 6, but it's going to be a rugged 6. I'm telling you now because to his point, they got a tough team that, I don't think they have the Pistons have a guy that can – Paolo, I don't know if Paolo can be that night in, night out where if you need a bucket, at least the Pistons can know they can go to Cade. Paolo have to earn that, in my opinion. But it's a great win for them. They definitely came in strong for sure. All right, on the way, we just talked about it. Anthony Munoz getting ready to join us. We'll talk some NFL with him right now. It is USC Chris getting you updated.
This Pistons talk is making me very sad. Last night was rough too.
It was a rough game.
I'm kind of on the side that it's just they got punked. Like, look, they won 2 games on the road last year against the Knicks. They actually had a better road record against the Knicks than I don't think they won a game at home in that series.
No, they haven't won a home playoff game since 2008.
Yeah. So I at least have confidence on it. But yeah, still, like I'm with you that like the respect to Paolo Banchero is a little much. Like I was workshopping the PB No J talk, but hey, on to the next game. Victor Wembanyama was named NBA's Defensive Player of the Year. He becomes the youngest player to win the award at age 22, the first in NBA history to claim that award with unanimous voting. Up until this point, no one else has claimed unanimous. On the court right now, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers, Toronto Raptors. Cavs are holding on to a 22-14 lead with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter as that game goes underway. Meanwhile, on the ice, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia scoreless in the Stanley Cup. This one's been a cavalcade of penalties. The sin bin's filling up. We had about 4-on-3 for about 15 seconds. Now Pittsburgh trying to, on the power play, 30 seconds for Philadelphia to kill this off. 8 minutes to go in the first period. According to ESPN, the Rockets are optimistic forward Kevin Durant will play Tuesday against the Lakers after missing Game 1 with a deep patellar tendon bruise. Anthony Edwards is also expected to play tonight for the Timberwolves in the NBA playoffs. NFL wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. met with his former team, the New York Football Giants, and had a workout and a physical, potentially signaling a reunion. However, sources say no signing appears imminent at this time. Meanwhile, Jimmy Garoppolo, quarterback, is contemplating retirement. Dodgers closer Edwin Diaz is set for elbow surgery. According to reports on Monday, the procedure is to remove loose bodies in his right elbow. He could miss around 3 months. Back to the odd couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. I almost did, Kelvin Washington.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I almost made you carry Washington again.
Trust me, I did it too. Don't worry about it. That Edwin Diaz, man, we can talk about that maybe a little bit later.
That's baseball, though. Every time you think you got it all locked up and you got everybody, you sign everybody. Baseball is weird. Injuries, all kinds of stuff. So.
And it's a long season, too. We'll get to that at some point. All right, it is time to get your financial portfolio game ready. With Webull, get powerful investing tools and real-time data all in one platform. Get started by downloading the Webull app today or visiting Webull.com. Webull Financial, LLC, member SIPC. FINRA investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosures. Join now. Anthony Munoz, Hall of Fame offensive tackle with the Bengals, East LA's own. You can follow him, Anthony Munoz, on Hall of HOF on X. Anthony, man, how are you?
What's happening?
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing? Thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
No doubt. And I've got to make sure we give you the plug, what you're here for. You are here because, of course, talk about all things the Bengals. You got the 78 cigars. Tell us a little bit more about that. And, of course, we got the draft coming up as well.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely talk about the Bengals. I love what's going on so far. But you know what? Me and my buddy just decided one day we're out playing golf. You know, we like doing ministry together. We do golf. We do cigars. And we said, man, we took one on the turn and said, let's do this, man. We can do this. So we set up 78 LLC, started down the road of 78 Cigar about 2 years ago, and finally launched the Super Bowl. We have a nice 78 cigar, 6x60, Grand Toro, and it's a long, cool smoke. You know, we just love getting together with individuals and enjoying a nice cigar. Some guys like a little bourbon with their cigars. So, yeah, I mean, it took us about 15 sticks to go through and pick one. And we end up going with a group out of Texas, La Aurora. They make some great stuff. So we wanted, to have an excellent one. And that's what we did. So, you can go to anthonymunoz.com and check out, you can buy bundles, or you can check out the sweet box we've come up with. It's a nice black box, big 78 logo on the top with a name. Open it up. It's got some cool pictures inside. But, yeah, we decided to do that because I get a chance to play a lot of golf around the country. And, of course, every time you get out on the course, you see guys smoking cigars. So I said, go ahead and do this. So we did.
There you go.
Well,
Congratulations on it. Yeah.
Congrats on that.
100%. All right, we do got to get to. I want to get to the Bengals, and we already know what Joe Burrow can do. Are they ever going to get the defense together, Anthony? Because you're not going to win. They're not going back to the Super Bowl unless they get something figured out defensively. What do they need to do to get that straightened out?
Well, you got that right. I tell people, in my humble opinion, if we got just a middle of the road, a little higher than middle of the road defense, I think we could make some noise. Offensively, they have put a lot of money into the offense. You mentioned Joe Burrow. The key there is keeping him healthy. When he's healthy, he's to me, he's one of the best. In my humble opinion, one of the top two, maybe three quarterbacks in the NFL. So he's got some guys to throw to. He's got some pretty good running backs. The offensive line has got to protect him and move people out. But defensively is what we need, and I've been really excited about what's going on so far. Of course, we all look at the draft because people are like, who are we going to draft? What college guys are we going to draft that are going to come in and, hopefully have an impact, not only for a second year, but for a long time. And, but what they've done in the offseason, I was excited. They signed Brian Cook from KC. He's a local kid, so he's coming back a safety, and he's ranked up there pretty good. They get an edge rusher from Seattle, Mario Mafe, which I think is, we have two number ones at edge that in the last 2 years. We need those guys along with Boyer to come in. But the thing I'm excited about that, since DJ Reader left and went to Detroit, that we've not had up the middle. I mean, they signed Dexter Lawrence, and man, when that happened, I was on the road, and my buddy, we text a lot about what's going on, and we were pretty excited. So, what they've done so far in the free agency, to me, says, hey, we need to do something on the side of the ball that really lacked last year, and they've started out. So now let's get some good ones in the draft.
Well, I tell you what, to me, this screams, Anthony, we want to keep Joe Burrow happy. You mentioned they did a bunch of signings. They got all the receivers signed up. They threw a bunch of money to keep him happy there. But you can have all that if you don't have a defense. And so to me, this screams, Joe, we're trying to make you happy. We want to keep you here. And they've done a great job on the other side of the ball. Let me ask you about that division. How do you feel about that? You got, of course, Lamar is going to try to be rejuvenated. I don't know what the Steelers are doing, if they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers or not. And then, of course, who knows what the Browns are. But what do you look at this division, and how do you think they kind of match up there?
Well, it's interesting because you mentioned really the question marks at quarterback, and really Lamar is the only one that he's going to be in there. I expect the best out of Lamar every year, regardless of, what he's done the previous year. You're right. Who's it going to be for the Steelers and the Browns? But, the thing I always look at that we struggle with, we could be having a great year, but these teams can have a backup quarterback, and because the rivalries are so intense in that AFC North, we just got to be able to overcome regardless if it's Sanders or whoever, Cleveland has, or Deshaun Watson, or, whoever, if it is Aaron Rodgers, I don't know. We just have to be ready because when those games are played, you can throw the records out the window. It's pretty physical. It's pretty intense. And, those four teams beat each other up during the regular season. So I think it's a great division. Those teams have been better in years. But, Pittsburgh's going to be a lot different. I mean, I looked at a couple coaches in the NFL that I know I've met, but I really didn't know a whole lot about. And I said, man, these guys I would love to play for. If I was still playing, Dan Campbell at Detroit, I would love to play for. And
so you don't want to win a Super Bowl, huh?
Stop it. No, but, you got to have the players.
I get it. I'm just saying, like they had a chance.
With all due respect, coaches, but the assistant coaches are the ones that, if I was the head coach, those are the guys that get you ready and get you prepared to play. So, but Tomlin, I would love to play for, because his style. But no, it's going to be a lot different not having Tomlin there.
Yeah.
The guy's a stud.
No doubt about it. There's going to be one thing that just piqued my. We only got like 1 minute, but you mentioned Deshaun Watson in Cleveland, and I agree with you. I think he's going to start the season. They owe him so much money, and I think that they'll start with him and see if he has anything left. Before the last time you saw him play, does he have anything left? Because he just doesn't look like the same quarterback from Houston.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a big fan. I don't see it. He hasn't. I mean, maybe he has an off season where he's rejuvenated and comes in, and he still has something in the tank.
Right.
But I think that's a position that for years and years they've been trying and can't get it right. And I really don't believe that Deshaun Watson's the guy. I really don't. I don't know. And I've been proven wrong a lot of times.
No, but I hear you. I mean, a lot of people are in that camp that he just hasn't. Yeah. His whole time there in Cleveland just hadn't been that good, Kelvin.
Yeah, he looked awful, and I think they gave him all the chances they could. It'll be interesting. We got a break here, Anthony, but if Joe Flacco needs to go play with the Steelers, at that point he would have played with every team in the division. So just go do that. Well, Anthony, we appreciate you.
Check it out.
Congrats to you with 78 Cigars again, and you can go check that out, anthonymunoz.com.
Thank you, Anthony.
/78 Cigars. Appreciate your time.
It.
Yep.
Guys, have a great night.
No doubt. Yeah, Joe Flacco needs you at this point, Rob. Just go do that and go play it all out. All right, on the way, your Tire Rack play of the day. We'll get to that, plus Shekel City as well, and some more NBA action. We saw somebody who looks daggone and flawless like a video game. We'll tell you who that is. Just the Odd Couple on a Magic City Monday, Fox Sports Radio.
But Rob G, the Texans have been they just spent some big money, and maybe they're sending a message to somebody else in the process.
Yeah, that's right. Big news of the day. You guys have talked about it earlier, and if you're missing any part of Bree's award-winning updates,
if it's Bree, it's for me.
I'm going to remind y'all that the Houston Texans just made pass rusher Will Anderson the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. 3 years, $150, $134 million guaranteed. But that's not it. They paid him. They've paid a lot of dudes this offseason, all right? First off, starting off with Dalton Schultz got himself an extension. Danielle Hunter, the other pass rusher, 1 year, $40 million tacked on. That's Rob Parker money. All right. They made their kicker the highest paid kicker in the league.
I wish.
They paid 2 offensive linemen, one of them in free agency, one of them their own guys. So they're spending a lot of money this offseason on every position but one. CJ Stroud eligible for a big contract extension. They're going to wait on that. They picked up his 5th-year option. His future, though, still TBD.
You want to go, Rob?
You could go ahead.
All right, paper, rock, scissors. Ready?
No. Go ahead. I want you to start.
No. I'm just going to say, I think it's like this. I think he has played himself out of the big money. Usually guys play themselves in, right? You had a great year or two, or unexpected year, or you got hot, or you had an MVP candidate type of year. CJ Stroud has done the opposite of what you would want to do. He started at the top. He's almost like an artist who dropped a classic first album and then it's downhill from there. And that's unfortunately what CJ Stroud has done, is he came out hot, white hot. You always like to bring up, people are like, oh, the Texans, sexy Super Bowl pick. He's an MVP pick. And it's been downhill. The year after his first year, set a career high in 12 interceptions.
And you have to admit, I did say that he's the weak link going into the play. I was like, I just don't feel comfortable with him.
Yeah, and he earned that for you to have those doubts. And so you can't just play bad in the regular season and double it by playing even worse in the postseason. And now, Rob, it's been 2 consecutive years of his play going down. So it's no longer just, hey, he had a sophomore jinx, rough year, but teams got a hold of him a little bit. He bounced back year 3. No, it's been 2 years of downplay, especially looking like a deer in headlights in the postseason. So what I think they're going to do, Rob, is say, we're going to build around this defense, which has been great the last few seasons. D'Amico Ryans, shout out to him as a great defensive coach, head coach, but especially on the defensive side. And I think they're going to come back and offer CJ Stroud something like 3 years, $100 million. And that sounds like a lot, but if you look at where that would place him, Rob, that place him right around 17th-ish in the league, behind a Baker Mayfield, right around a Sam Darnold, and ahead of a Malik Willis, who's making $22.5 this upcoming season. So I think they're going to offer him some starter money, some you still got something to prove money, and a short enough contract for him where if he balls out for a couple of seasons, 2-3 seasons, he can get that big one later. And I think they're just going to build around the defense and say, this will be our staple, which will always keep us in a season, keep us in a game. But I think he's not getting a big paycheck from them because he's played himself out of it, but they're going to offer him second level, those last, 2/3 of the last third or so starter money in the NFL. That's what I expect to happen.
No, let me tell you something. This is the guy who had the nerve, the audacity after one season to say he was the second best quarterback in the league behind Patrick Mahomes. Remember that? Sitting on the couch like the guys in Animal House, thinking that he had arrived or whatever. Mm-hmm. All they needed him to do last year was to be Brad Johnson. That's it. Uh-huh. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. You don't even need to be great. Don't mess it up. He turned the ball over more times than a bakery. I mean, it was ridiculous. And you got to remember this. Even in the game against the Steelers, he had all those fumbles that they were lucky to get back. Like, he had 5 fumbles and they only lost 2 of them, so it didn't look as bad as it could have been. And then the interceptions, and then he was bad. And for them, considering where he started, as you said, at the top after year 1, where everybody was picking the Texans to go to Super Bowl and whatnot, for them not to pick up his contract, you know what I mean, and cash him out, that speaks volumes. And they're not convinced, and they're not going to do it, because if you wait and he balls out, it's going to cost you, right? So you could get it for less now. You could be thinking, you're coming off 2 bad years, so we might be able to get a hometown discount because you're desperate and you know you haven't played well and you're going to take a little less. Mm-hmm. And they still would rather not do that. That speaks volumes.
Fox Sports Radio, Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, Magic City Monday. Hey, big shout out to Anthony Munoz, Hall of Fame offensive tackle with the Bengals. He joined us there. Shay will get that up on the podcast. Always great talking to Hall of Famer. Some good stuff there. And yeah, good signing too. Getting Dexter Lawrence for the Bengals. It's a great pickup for them. We've talked about it, Rob. They got to get that defense up. So hopefully this will be a better season for them. It is time, of course, for Tire Rack Play of the Day. Let's get to it.
Back out of the three-point line, right side against Williams. Victor's backing it in. Shot clock at 3 at 2. Wembanyama 3. Yes, sir! Victor Wembanyama, 33. That's his 5th 3 of the night. He's 5 of 6 from downtown.
That is, of course, Sports Radio there. Tire Rack Play today brought to you by Tire Rack. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, for what, and for where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com. It is the way tire buying should be. 35 points on, I think it was 33 minutes for Wemby. We'll get to a little bit more of that game in just a moment. Now it's time for Shekel City. How'd you do?
All right, Friday, 1-2, so not great, 1-2, but I'm still 110-78.
Nice.
That's still impressive right there, right? We'll all agree on that. Picking games with the
thing,
spread, 110-78. Here we are, April 20th, 420 for you weed heads out there. All right, tonight.
It is 420, you're right.
Yes, it is. I got the Knicks. Best bet, -6.5. They're taking on the Hawks. I also going to go with the Nuggets, -7.5. I watched a lot of that game on Saturday.
Minnesota can't bounce back?
Yeah, Minnesota, no. I'm going to go with the Nuggets in Denver in that one. Denver holds home court. Okay. And then tonight, I also have the Dodgers finish up a 4-game series against the Colorado Rockies. I'm going to go with the Dodgers -2.5, like they break out. Because are they going to lose 3 out of 4 to Colorado?
They had this weird thing. Like every couple of years, they do
There's
this
certain
with
teams, right?
Yeah, it's like, what? It's as you mentioned earlier, that's just baseball. Stuff doesn't make sense sometimes, but you feel like they're going to get out the slump.
Yeah, so I got the Dodgers -2.5 runs, Nuggets -7.5 points, Knicks -6.5 points. And remember, I'm not telling you who to bet on. I'm telling you who I bet on.
All right, there you have it. That was Shekel City. Rob, I do want to go back. I told you go back to Wemby for a minute. Man, you've been covering this league since 1987. I've been watching basketball my whole life, as have you listening or watching on YouTube. It's actually staggering watching Wemby because, when you watch young Jordan, what do they always say? If you listen to those Celtics or the Pistons or Magic Johnson, they all knew, all right, he'll drop 30 or 40 on us, but, he didn't know how to win yet, or he still, he's ball hogging or something. Or if you watch young Kobe or LeBron, he didn't have a jump shot, or all these, like every player kind of has something you can say, boy, when they get that, or Shaq and missing free throws. And I'm watching Wemby, Rob, and I'm not jumping to he's the greatest thing ever. But what I am saying
I'm glad you said that.
And he's got years to prove he could be.
Right.
Like on paper, he could be. But part of that is because I'm really watching him, Rob, and where's the flaw? He got a rebound. Avita was guarding him. He goes behind the back, spin moves off him, and left hand falling dunks. Like and you heard the play of the day, step back 3, 5 for 6 from 3, blocking shots, defensive player of the year, first time unanimous. Like I was really watching, Rob. I don't know where the flaw is. Usually big guys, they're not agile. We know that. Like the Yao Mings, the Manute Bowles.
Oh, but a lot of big guys though, and I'm not trying to give them the whammy, but for a lot of big guys who dominate like that, what is it? It's their health.
It's the health.
It's the health. It's not that they if they're healthy and they can play, we get it. Like it's such an advantage to be that height and to be able to do that. He can bring the ball up, he can shoot 3-pointers. He can dominate at the rim. He can do everything. I get it. But when you're that big and your bones and your ankles and your feet, we've already seen that, and he's only 22 years old. Like
that's his own, and we've talked about it before, Rob.
I know.
That's his only challenger is health because he's competitive. It's not like, sometimes big guys, we saw this with Andrew Bynum. You've seen this with some other bigs throughout the year where you go, well, where's their heart? Like, yeah, they're big. Like DeAndre Ayton, right? People question the toughness, the heart, you don't question his effort, his heart. He wants to block everything, change other shots. He can pass. It's just remarkable watching him play because I'm like, this is actually scary. But to your point, he goes 4 for 5 from 3, 5 for 6 from 3, from free throws 4 or 5. And I mean, it's just remarkable. To your point, if the basketball gods allow him to stay healthy for the majority of his career, good luck. Good
no,
luck.
I'm with you. I'm with you. There's nothing to not like about him, and that's why people have all ranted and raved about him. All right, hour number 2 is coming up.
Hour number 2 is on the way. Did we see the bit of the end of a reunion? We'll tell you what we're talking about.
We are Buzzword.
It's the Odd Couple. You know what time it is. It's your boys.
Let's get it. The Odd Couple is fun.
Check.
And informative.
Check.
What's up, America? You want to talk sports with 1.5 of the best-looking guys in the game?
That game was incredible.
You are wrong. You'll be king of the water cooler.
What's it like working with Rob? Rob in his mind is like Chris Rock mixed with Richard Pryor, so I'm running out of fake laughs. Ha ha, Rob. Rob is very passionate.
Son, you ain't ready for this. Well, I don't have BS in my game. I'm straightforward. I'm honest. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. And, of course, it doesn't hurt that I'm right most of the time. Kelvin is the nice guy, wants to make everybody feel warm and fuzzy.
You done? Let me tell you the truth. I bring the energy, a youthful energy. Rob's not gonna see this, is he? And I bring an honest opinion. Michael Jordan, I can't take it anymore. I need a break. I'm gonna go play baseball.
Trash Talking Tuesday is the best.
It's a great opportunity for folks to call in and they get to trash whomever.
Who you trashing, Roger?
I'm trashing LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
They can't even hold Wilt Chamberlain's shoes.
Stop talking about the king like that. It's a new era. Let LeBron be the best, please.
I only recognize one king in the United States, and that's Burger King. The connection with the Odd Couple audience is incredible. We really invite them in.
And they can relate, whether it be things about our own personal lives or our takes on sports.
Love you guys. You guys are killing it.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with your boys. They feel like it's just my guys, just my friends, and they join right in on the show.
We talk with the listeners, not at them.
Obviously, you can listen to us live, but you can still check out the podcast. You can check out our YouTube. You can check us out on social media. So in any way you want to get it, you can get it.
Yes.
There's some yelling. It is some hot takes. It's a whole lot of fun. I'll give you that.
It is fun. I agree. Begrudgingly.
The Odd Couple.
Sports talk that's too good and too fun.
Breaking news out of the NFL, where NFL Network is reporting the Los Angeles Rams are extending quarterback Matthew Stafford. Stafford may still have some of his best years ahead of him in spite of being 38. He won MVP last year and led LA to the NFC Championship game. They'll run it back in Los Angeles for the 2026 season. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter between the Cavaliers and Raptors in Game 2. 50-40, Cleveland on top. Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and James Harden all with double-digit scoring already in this game. Scoreless between the Flyers and Penguins at the end of the first period on the ice. Hurricanes 1-0 over the Senators halfway in the first period thanks to a Logan Stankoven goal. Victor Wembanyama was named NBA's Defensive Player of the Year, becoming the youngest player to win the award at age 22 and the first in NBA history to claim it on unanimous voting. I'm Chris Perfett.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Kelvin Washington, that's right. We are the Odd Couple. Be sure to check out our new YouTube channel. That's right. All you need to do is head over to YouTube. You can go right now and watch us. And then when you're over there, just search Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, and you can also tap the thumbs up icon and comment away. We appreciate it. Again, just search Odd Couple FSR and subscribe. So a lot to get to here in hour number 2 of the program on this Magic City Monday.
Oh!
Yes. And the Warriors are out of this playoffs picture.
They are.
Okay, so they got knocked out. And it was very interesting.
Were they ever in the playoffs, Rob?
Yeah. No, they weren't, because it doesn't count as the playoffs. So you're absolutely right. They weren't. But it was very interesting. Steve Kerr went out of his way to get Steph and Draymond together and then kind of hugged them, and you could hear them.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically said, this might be it. I don't know. You know, like there was concern, or he was definitely unsure, right? Because he didn't have to do that. He could have easily just been like, okay, I know I'm coming back next year. Draymond ain't going anywhere. Neither is Steph, right? So
Draymond's unsure right now. Well, that's an interesting point of this.
Yeah, but I think that out of those people, for him to do it, not Draymond,
Right.
spoke more about Steve Kerr. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I really believe that. And I'm more convinced than ever to believe that Steve Kerr is going to be done in San Francisco, in Golden State with the Warriors. That's just my gut feeling from the standpoint of why in the world is Steve Kerr even floating the whole idea, like, why isn't he secure? The 4 championships, right? All that's been done there. Those guys usually aren't the ones who are like, well, we'll see what the owner says. You know what I mean? Or we'll have to figure it out. Or Steve Kerr wants $1 gazillion or anything like that. So I'm just really, really, his action spoke more about him and his situation to me more than Draymond, more than Steph Curry, because I do think that maybe he's been there a long time. They've done enough winning. They're not going to win in the foreseeable future. I really don't see that. So why am I paying for a very expensive head coach, right?
Yep.
Steve Kerr wasn't able to develop any young players. We talked about it. Look at all the players that they had. They were supposed to be running this thing for 20 years. They were supposed to be the new Spurs that won 5 championships in 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And instead, other than Jordan Poole, right, they didn't develop anybody. And he's not even with them anymore. You know what I mean? Of all the guys. So I think the time has come for Steve Kerr to move on. I don't know if he'll go anywhere else to coach, Kelvin, but if I'm the Warriors, thank you very much. We appreciate it. The same way the Bulls told Phil Jackson, thank you. No mas. We're good. You remember Michael Jordan said, if you bring Phil back, I'll come back. And they still said, no, we got Tim Floyd in the wings, this college coach. He's going to be the Bulls coach. And they were dead set on not bringing Phil Jackson back no matter what. And that team probably could have won a couple more championships, right?
Or at least be competitive. We ain't seen the Bulls since. Derrick Rose had a cup of coffee with, and unfortunately,
and a sweet roll.
Health. Sweet roll. Don't forget the sweet roll. And rookie of the year, a couple years there, and then obviously the injuries. But we haven't seen the Bulls since. And I completely agree. And here I'm going to add to it. Number one, what do we always talk about? And I know coaching is different than players, but when you start thinking of retiring, you're retired.
I agree.
When you start, hey, I don't know what's next, but I just want to say I love you guys, as he said, hugging the two of those guys, that's very telling. When he's on a last, why is he on a contract that this is the last year? If he's the guy, you did this last year. You took care of that. Hey, you're our guy. I don't give a dang. You're still relatively young.
Right.
Let's do another 3 years, another 4 years.
Right. Why is he
a lame duck coach? And so I think that's telling. And what you gather is they want to have some real conversation with him, Rob. We are trying to figure out where we're going, they're going to say. What's the direction? Do we got to go young for a year? Do we got to rebuild? Is it getting a guy like a Giannis? And are you in for this while we're figuring this out? We got a few more years with Steph. We want to be competitive, but we don't know exactly what that's going to be. And we want to know, are you in so that if we do this and it gets a little rocky, you're in versus it ain't going enough. Like you mentioned, we got to develop some young players. I don't have the energy for young players. I'm frustrated.
And that's what he said.
Out.
You remember that he doesn't want young players.
It's because what it requires, it isn't just on the court, right? They're 20, 21, 20. You got to start hanging out in the clubs or not studying the playbook and film. And it's just the other little things, not just their athleticism, right? It becomes the little things to become a pro. And sometimes you ain't got time for that, right? And so are you built for that? He's had a lot of health issues, spinal issues and back issues. That I remember one point he said he was tasting spinal fluid and he's been going through a lot, nerve damage, all that good stuff. So he's been through a lot physically. They've been through a lot of battles. He's won 68% of his games with them, which is the second highest for coaches with 100 or more games. Second highest, fastest to fourth fastest, I should say, to 600 wins. So I think it's all taking a toll, and what it may require to finally get good again, I just don't know if he has that in him. So I think they had a great run. And lastly, Draymond mentioned it. On his podcast, he said, look, we had a moment. It was special. If you ask me, my gut feeling, Steve's gone. That's what Draymond said on his own podcast. He said, Steve is gone if you're asking me. So the minute your players are questioning it, you're hugging up on the sideline, and the antics, right? Draymond just goes ballistic, gets kicked out of the game in a blowout, him and Devin Booker. It just felt, remember when the Pistons crumbled and they walked off the court against the Bulls and it kind of was the end of it all? To me, the way Draymond kind of went out, arguing, getting kicked out of a game, they're down by 20-something, gets kicked out, yelling at the refs, Steve Kerr hugging everybody, I love you guys. It just felt final. Maybe not for Draymond and Steph yet, but it did feel final for Steve Kerr. And it leads me to my last point, Rob. If it's final for Steve Kerr, is it final for Draymond? And what I mean by that is Steve Kerr put up a lot because it's like I mentioned with Phil Jackson putting up a lot with Shaq and how he handled that, or putting a lot with Dennis Rodman, allowing things you normally don't because you see the good in him and I know what I can do. He's kind of your guy, right? It's like one of your good friends who's a little wild and crazy, but it's your friend. Does another coach who has to earn Draymond's respect, can he earn it, right? Will Draymond be able to just move over him, push him over, act crazy? Did you tolerate Draymond because you were winning? So you're like, we got to put up with it. But if you're a new coach, I don't know. I don't want to put up with that. Getting kicked out, doing this, starting punching players. So to me, is this the Steve Kerr leaves? Do you now, if you're the Warriors, say we can now part ways with Draymond? That's going to be interesting to me as well, that domino, if that happens, because you know what I mean? There's a built-in kind of thing like he comes package deal with the coach. That's his guy. That's his enforcer. That's his voice in the locker room. That's his tough guy. He's the bodyguard for Steph, both physically, verbally, all that. If Steve leaves, I wonder if they can be much more okay parting ways with Draymond.
Yeah, I think that you might be right because another coach, Draymond is a tough pill to swallow. I mean, he really is. Mm-hmm. And do you want to put up with that? And you already know, especially if you come in and you're some younger coach or whatever who doesn't have a resume.
That's a great point.
Right? Doesn't have a resume. So what is Draymond? You can't tell him. What are you going to tell him? Right? What are you going to tell Draymond?
Draymond wouldn't even let KD tell him nothing.
Exactly.
I'm a two-time Finals MVP for this team, and you still cussing me out.
Exactly.
What do you think he's gonna do for some young coach who ain't got no proven track record?
And to me, if you're the Warriors, at some point you need to do something. And if you just feel hell bent on keeping Steph just because he shouldn't wear another uniform, and I tell you, I'm with that for certain players. I told you, I think Tom Brady made a mistake leaving New England. Even though he won a Super Bowl, I thought Derek Jeter did it right. 20 years with the Yankees, never wore. Could have gone to Florida, Miami, right, and played a couple more years. He could have, easily. But he didn't want to do that. And so in this case, I don't know. There's just a time and a place. And I think that's what's happened with Steve Kerr and the Warriors. I just –
It felt it. It just felt it. It looked it as far as the way he was hugging them, and it looked the part. Him acknowledging, hey, I don't know
for
what's
him
next.
to do that, in the midst of the game, you could have been like, I'll do that in the locker room
100%. After
it's all over or when I really know and then I could get together
Very
with
telling.
them. It was like at that moment, I got to do it right there on the bench. You know what I mean? Standing up in front of the bench. Like, really? We can't do it like have our own moment. Hey, come in my office. After everything's over, and I just want to talk to you guys. I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I don't have a contract for next year. I don't know about my health. I might not come back. And then they can all embrace, and we've been together, whatever. Get Klay Thompson on the phone on the. Nah, that ain't happening.
Clay, you on FaceTime? What's up? It's your boys. No, we call it a quits, baby.
Clay would definitely hang up. He wouldn't accept
Clay's. Thank God for Meg Thee Stallion because Clay was going out bad. Like, he just got so ornery towards the end of his, I need to be starting, and I'm this, that, and I'm top 75. No, Clay, you're not. Do you know the guys who didn't make the top 75 that were like, wait a minute, they didn't make? Clay, you're not. And it's okay. There's been, thousands of players, like, you being top, say, 100, that's a compliment. Like, wow. But I'm top 100. Why am I not this? Why am I not starting in it? I need all the money, even though I'm coming off terrible injuries.
Two injuries in a row. And it was like, yo, dude, they paid you during that time.
Clay started to go out bad. He's admitted it. He said, I got a little big for my britches. I was listening to the crowd. Yeah, Clay got he kind of went out a little bad with them. Meg Thee Stallion, definitely. That brought him back up. That he came back up with that.
No
but
doubt.
Yeah. So I just think it's so. I think it was a very poignant thing for him. He said, I want to feel this moment in this arena with you at this exact moment. I don't want to do it later, to your point. I think, and that's just too telling, Rob. You don't come back from that to me. I don't know what's going to happen on the court. You're saying it while still on the court?
Right.
And have whispered at things. You don't have a new deal. And to me, it felt very final. And especially, like I said, the way Draymond went out crazy, it just felt this is the end of a run of that group. Steph will maybe try to do something else, but they got to just think. Jimmy Butler's not coming back till probably January, too. So there's that as well. It's not like
you almost forget about Jimmy Butler. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they had a heck of a run. They're going to do what they can, obviously, to honor, like, hey, we got 2-3 years left for Steph. Let's maximize it. But I think the run is coming to a close. I think Steve Kerr knows it, and I think he's slowly embracing that.
All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Were Kelvin and I reading too much into Steve Kerr and his actions after their last game of the year, that play-in game that they lost, or are we on the money? And if it is true, are you cool with it? The idea that Steve Kerr's done in San Francisco with the Golden State Warriors, and it's time to move on, or do you want him back? You want, as long as Steph is there, as long as Draymond's there, that the band has to be together, and you want to bring him back? Where are you on this? Kelvin and I, it just felt like the end. That's what it looked like to us. 877-99 on Fox. 877-996-6369. It is the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay
America.
Hey, and when production levels change, you need a workforce that flexes to match. Having the right staff to meet productivity isn't just necessary. It keeps costs and manufacturing deadlines in check. And Express Employment Professionals is your best resource for success. Visit expresspros.com to find your local office and discover how Express Employment Professionals can help you hire smarter and faster. Your local Express team understands skilled labor and can easily connect your business with the right workers when you need them. From assemblers and machinists to quality control inspectors, maintenance technicians, and production managers, Express Employment Professionals has the skilled labor you need. As one of the largest industrial staffing companies in the States, Express can help your business stay efficient, flexible, and competitive. So find a location near you at expresspros.com to get local support you need and avoid the onslaught of online applications and sorting through unqualified candidates. Put people back in hiring with Express, whether you are ramping up production, managing change, or looking for a solution to a skills gap. Express Employment Professionals is your one connection to the right workforce. So visit expresspros.com. Express Employment Professionals, respecting people, impacting business. Rob G, somebody who's never afraid, whether you agree with him or not, to get on the microphone and say some stuff will be Draymond Green. And Draymond had a little something to say to Adam Silver and the execs in the NBA.
I get fined when I do wrong. Just fine the hell out of people. You know, we love taking money from players. Keep fining the teams. I've seen 2 fines. And we all know everybody take it. But you've seen 2 fines. You know, if it was players, we snatched that money in a heartbeat. Why isn't it the same?
Draymond's talking about the game last night. Well, the Warriors was at the Kings, playing the Kings. And long story short, towards the end of the game, they purposely fouled Seth Curry, who was a good free throw shooter. Obviously, he's a Curry. You know, they be putting the ball in the hole, shooting-wise. I'm waiting on you.
I'm not
last
saying
second, except the last shot of the game. But Draymond's right. It was a weird foul. It intentionally fouled him, and it kind of didn't add up what they were trying to do, and they're putting a great free throw shooter on the line and knocked down 2 and blah, blah, blah. So Draymond touched on something that I think, again, tanking in the NBA has been a big conversation. By the way, tanking's been going on for eons. I keep telling people, stop acting like every team in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s were good. People were tanking back then as well. It's just not as flagrant. And we just didn't see what was going on a random Tuesday night in Sacramento.
Well, people also weren't paying $400 for tickets.
People weren't paying that much. And
I'm just saying,
and gambling wasn't as prevalent, right? You didn't know what was going on Tuesday as far as access and ease, meaning you could just hop on an app right now and I can say, over under, and this guy, he's going to have, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. You can do that now. So I say that to say this is why this is a big deal in the NBA, Rob, because people are aware, they're hyper aware now. There's gambling, there's parlays, there's ease of access. You got kids gambling now because it's right on your phone. It's easy to do. And so people are paying attention more than ever to stats and what's going on. And so they see this. You got streaming games. It's stuff's being globalized. It's all across the world. So what could be done in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, kind of be hidden or known or kind of just be a quiet thing that's happening is loud now. And you got a loud mouth with Draymond calling him out. And he's right. Players get fined for everything. Saying this, cussing out a ref, not wearing this, wearing these shoes, doing that, don't wear that, didn't talk to the media. And you have organizations who are clearly, flagrantly tanking, and the NBA is hanging on to those 2 $500,000 fines. They fined 2 organizations, one time $500,000. And to me, We know what rich people love. They love money. You know what else they don't like? Cutting checks all the time. One time, all right, cool, it's worth it. Because it's absolutely worth it. If you're going to come back and get the Bonta and I got to pay $500,000 for it, cool. I'll do that easily. You have to find these teams more and more because people are seeing it. People are getting played. You mentioned it. Fans are paying $400 for tickets. It makes no sense. They're coming to games. And watch this. It ain't even just the tanking. They did some reporting on the big national games this year. 32% of the games, the big nationally televised games, stars didn't play. 32% of your nationally televised games. And you know you have these streamings that are playing billions upon billions of dollars. So what's happening is you have all this going on if you're Adam Silver. We talked about the gambling issues that they had last season and during the offseason. You add in all of a sudden, you got the tanking. We got to fix the All-Star game. There's so much going on, and people want to see Adam Silver's going to, really come in and flex his muscles and start to change things. So Draymond is right with this because it's not fair that players they're penalized, and this I don't often agree with Draymond. You know that. But you get penalized and fined for so much as a player, but organizations can deal and be hurting the integrity of the game, hurting fans who are paying money, coming to show and seeing terrible presentation and terrible effort from the whole organization, and they're only fined one time, $500,000. The NBA has to find a way to de-incentivize tanking. And they got some plan that could be coming out here any day now, next 24, 48 hours that they're going to start to try to implement. We'll have to wait and see. But I don't often agree with Draymond, but it seems to not be fair that the players are held accountable more than organizations. And we know owners are involved, and owners are, of course, the commissioner. He runs all the owners. So they ain't going to be
he works for the owners.
That's my point. They ain't going to make sure he's hurting them, too much. Because you work for us, Commissioner.
I'm going to disagree. I'm
going
to disagree with you and Draymond.
Okay,
because money is not going to stop. Like I know you said they don't want to. They don't mind giving out money, but they're going to stop if you find them to. No, you have to hurt the organization for real. The way that even the NFL, where they took away draft picks from the Patriots, like you have to take away players. That's the only way. And I told you before, you want to stop tanking. The team with the worst record will not be able to get the first overall pick. That's a start.
Fox Sports Radio, Odd Couple, Rob, Parker, Kelvin Washington on this Magic City Monday. And at University of Maryland Global Campus, you can choose from more than 65 graduate online degrees and certificates, including our MBA Now Attend specializations. No application fee through June 1st. Visit umgc.edu. We got to talk some A.J. Brown and what's going on with him and the Eagles a little bit later on. Next hour, still a big hour. We have Rob Rang, Fox Sports NFL draft analyst. We got the draft, Rob, coming up on Thursday. We'll do that. We also have Last Call coming up. So if you couldn't get in any point, you'll be able to do that next hour as well. You can get in now, too, 877-99 on Fox. We're talking about if you saw that Warriors game against the Suns, they got blowed out.
They got blowed out. They got blowed out.
They got blowed out, and it just got weird, and Draymond went Draymond. How you get kicked out of the blowout? You on the bench. He gets kicked out of the game.
It's just ridiculous.
You got him getting kicked out. Devin Booker somehow getting kicked out because he's in the middle of it. Steve Kerr having a kumbaya, him and Steph and Draymond hugging and talking, and one of those rare times, Rob and I agree that it just seems like it's time. I think you would agree, Rob. It's not only is it time, it's the right move for him and the organization to just kind of move on and figure out what the next chapter is.
And you said he don't have a contract. It says a lot, right?
It says a lot. And last point before we get to these calls, Rob, he's been doing a lot of reflective talk. I don't know if you saw that where I'm the luckiest NBA guy ever. I won all these rings, the Bulls and the Spurs, and I'm now with the Warriors, and I'm just the luckiest NBA player of all time. Like, he's doing a lot of reflective and hugging with Draymond and stuff. So once you start doing that on a lame duck contract, to me, it's a wrap. You know,
Yep.
and Draymond even said so. He said on his podcast he believes Steve is gone. All right, 877-99 on Fox. Let's take some calls. Who we got?
All right, let's start with Richard in Jacksonville. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Richard? How are you?
What's up, fellas? Good discussion. I love that you guys are talking about this.
Appreciate it.
Hey,
Yes,
the
sir.
way you're characterizing that conversation, I think, is accurate, but I don't think it's accurate to call him a lame duck coach. He may not have a contract, but you're talking about a guy who was the coach for USA Basketball. He's the coach that all the other coaches look up to. I think him not having a contract is like a flex. Like, he's one of the only people who can do that because he has his own leverage. He can go wherever he wants. He can go to any team.
But let
So,
me ask you this, Richard. Do you see him, seriously, if he were to part? I can't see him going anywhere else. I'm going to be honest. I know Pat Riley left the Lakers, went to the Knicks, went to Miami.
He was still younger, though. He was.
No,
he was
I know.
younger.
Steve Kerr is like,
Yeah.
do you see that, Richard? Like, do you really see him going somewhere else or no?
No, I don't, but that's the point. I see him staying with the team because he's not going to leave Steph and Dre if they're still there. They're not going to play for some other
So then
coach.
why
That's not
do
gonna
that,
work.
Richard? I'm just like why do that at the end of the game? Well, I don't know what's going to happen, and let's get a hug. Like, that was the part that's weird because you could have had that conversation behind closed doors.
I don't see. You're describing it like it's admitting some kind of weakness or something.
No, it's not a weakness.
No,
It's just that.
Listen. He literally said, "Hey guys, I don't know what's next, but I just want to tell you I love you."
Right.
Like, that's a very dude. When you're in battles and you lose, you're sitting there staring in the abyss, upset. Right? You're like, man, I can't believe. You're ready to come back next year.
And
even
instead, he's
better.
reflective. Like, this could be it. Like, it's sunk in. I might not be on the sideline with these guys, Richard. That's what it sounded like.
You could be right, but let me just say this. Yes, they lost to Phoenix. It was a bad game. But you know what I think happened? I'm being serious.
Okay.
The game before that, the first one where they beat the Clippers.
Yep.
I think that they saw something in that game. It was the first time that in earnest they had Porzingis at full strength with Steph, with Dre. Did you see the way Dre was shutting down Kawhi at the end of that game?
But
And
I've seen him
Horford
do that
was
his
hitting-
whole career. He's been a great defender. And I get your point that, wow, maybe
Thank you,
we'll have
Richard.
something.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Richard. And I would say this to Richard, though, right? I get where he was trying to go, saying, like, they look like,
No,
wow, maybe we have
no,
something. I
I-
think the opposite.
Yeah, I don't buy
I
that.
think that's why he said, remember what he said after the game? You and I didn't really touch on it too much. It was kind of strange. He goes, and that was our championship. And it was kind of like, he's like,
Right.
I know that sounds crazy, but like that was us winning a championship. We looked like a championship team.
Right.
And
But he
to
knew
me,
that. But
he's just been getting real, like, that was the heart of a warrior.
I know
And that
you're
just-
younger. Do you remember Dick Vermeil?
Of course.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so Dick
that was an
Vermeil,
emotional guy. Yeah.
at the end of his career, like, he cried over everything. Do you remember that? Like, Dick
That's
Vermeil. Hey, Dick Vermeil, is it Monday? Oh, my God.
I love Sunday, but let me tell you about Monday.
Exactly.
I just think Steve Kerr is very intellectual. I just think there's a part of him that's like so worn down. And to his credit, his point, he's played in so many high-stake playoff game championship. I just think he's probably exhausted, Rob. It's just a lot.
Yeah,
it
it
wears
is a
on
lot.
you physically and mentally.
All right, Randy in Idaho, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Randy?
Hey, guys. Love the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
I just want to comment real quick, more on a sentimental reflection point of view, kind of how you guys are talking. And my wife and I were watching the game the other night and just watching Steph, doing what Steph does. Eyes closed, he can make it from anywhere. And I look over at her and I'm like, do you realize what's happening? And she's like, what do you mean? I said, we get to be able to tell our kids, and we have little kids, right?
Okay.
But we get to tell our kids that we saw this dynasty. We saw the Kobe dynasty. We saw the Spurs dynasty. And we reflect back and we're like, it's that saying, you don't know you're in the good times until those good times are gone and past.
Right,
and I'm just like, it's awesome to see it, the camaraderie. I mean, and right now I feel like we're starting to see the new dynasties, multiple, the Thunder, the Spurs, they're starting to build what these other dynasties had. And it's just awesome to see it. And you reflect back and you get to be like, holy crap, I was a part of that. I got to see that. And I just wanted to share that, guys, that sitting back and looking at it all, we just don't know we're in it until it's gone.
Hey, Randy, hold on. Don't go anywhere. Let me tell you this. I want to share this with you and Kelvin real quick. When I was covering the NBA, and, I've been covering since 1987, but when the writers, when we were sitting, and back then David Stern moved all the writers to sit courtside. We were sitting courtside during the Jordan era. And I swear to you, just what Randy's talking about, we would sometimes look at each other, right, and go, do you know what we're watching? Do you know we're up close? Other than being on the court, we're right there with Michael Jordan in these moments, in these situations. We acknowledged it then. It wasn't like after the fact when you move off and you're going to cover something else and you're doing something and you go, oh, man, I was covering it. We knew it. So, Randy, I get your point.
Different.
I get your point.
Nah, this Jordan dude is different.
So,
hey,
like
Randy,
a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Yes, no doubt. Thank you, Randy. But you get it, Kelvin. Like when you know you're in the moment of watching something, it was very obvious to us. It was very obvious.
And that's the one downside before we break here. To kind of where things get with like shows and social media and because you should be enjoying Aaron Judge, not overly nitpicking. You know what I mean? Well, he doesn't do this. We should be enjoying Shohei, not overly and it's part of the game. I get that, but we're watching some stuff that ain't normal sometimes.
No, because
Aaron Judge
might be the best right-handed hitter when it's all said and done.
And that is
the best.
absurd,
right?
Because the way we have to talk about things nowadays, it's like we can't just acknowledge that. We got to overly pick, this, he ain't this, he ain't that. So on the other side, somebody who has been good and his team has been good, but it ain't good enough, it might be whatnot. We'll tell you what we're talking about. Right now, USC Chris going to get you updated.
All right, guys, it's playoff season. In the second game between the Raptors and the Cavaliers, about 10 minutes ago, in the third quarter, Cleveland holds a 61-49 lead on the Toronto Raptors. You've got Evan Mobley with 12 points, James Harden with 16, Donovan Mitchell with 17, as Cleveland attempting to impose dominance on this series with a 2-0 series lead if they win this game. Meanwhile, on the ice, still scoreless between the Penguins and Flyers. We are up to 5 penalties so far, and the last one killed off by Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, the other NHL game going on right now, Carolina still holding a 1-0 lead over the Ottawa Senators. End of the first period. Baseball scoreboard, the Astros with an 8-2 lead over the Guardian, middle of the 8th. A 6-1 lead for the Reds over the Tampa Bay Rays. Marlins with a 4-2 lead over the Cardinals, middle of the 7th inning. And the Braves over the Nationals, 7-4 in the middle of the 7th. NFL Network is reporting that the Los Angeles Rams are extending quarterback Matthew Stafford. He won MVP last year, led LA to an NFC Championship game. He's 38 years old going into the upcoming NFL season. Good that he's sticking around, because also the other quarterback who was at the Rams last year, Jimmy Garoppolo, is saying he is pondering retirement after 12 years in the NFL. Victor Wembanyama was named NBA's Defensive Player of the Year, picking up 2 firsts, becoming the youngest player to win the award at age 20 and the first in NBA history to claim unanimous first place voting. He earned all 100 points of first place votes, each vote 5 points on that. And Anthony Edwards expected to play tonight for the Timberwolves. Finally, Dodgers closer Edwin Diaz is set for elbow surgery, according to reports on Monday. The procedure is to remove loose bodies in his right elbow. He could miss around 3 months. Back to the Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
All right, Chris, appreciate it, man. Thank you. It is the Odd Couple. Rob and Kelvin on a Magic City Monday. And for over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, for what, and for where they drive. Ship fast and free. Backed by Free Road Hazard Protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com. It is the way tire buying should be. Shay, you want to drop in real quick and little A.J. Brown, which, my gosh, we've been talking about it now for 2 years, since the day I signed on, Rob. A.J. Brown ain't been happy, even though he's won a Super Bowl, been in a couple, but seems like it's always something now. There might be some noise with a particular team, Shay.
Yeah, so A.J. Brown is likely to be traded to the Patriots in a post-draft bombshell. a little bit of the move events. Well, ESPN actually reported this, so we don't know how much of this is actually going to happen, how much of it is true, and this is a report, so these are just speculations. But Brown will likely be traded by the Patriots when the calendar turns to June 1st. So when the 28-year-old salary becomes a little bit easier to move, that's when people believe that's what's going to happen. Both the Eagles and the Patriots have been interested in completing the trade for Brown, but the Stars receiver cap hit goes from roughly $40 million to less than $20 million if he's traded after June 1st.
Yeah.
So that seems to be the only thing kind of waiting on right now. What do you guys think?
I'm trying to find out, is there a Diana Rossini, did she ever report on this or no? I'm just saying.
Rob.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Come on.
All right, okay.
Are you trying to say she was ahead of it?
She was ahead of this on there, yeah.
She was definitely ahead of the curve.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what?
Gotta relax.
If I'm the Eagles, I'm good. Like even when he played really well and they threw him the ball, guess what? Those games they lost, and then they play these other games they won, and he didn't have great numbers. I think you can move on from him. I know he's a talented receiver. I think you could just find somebody else because he's never going to be happy unless it's about him. And I get it. That's what most receivers are, the divas, and they want the ball. And I understand it. It goes with being in that position, right? You don't want to be a wide receiver and the quarterback doesn't throw you the ball. I get that. But there's something about winning as well. And I'm thinking if I'm the Eagles, if he's not with the program, you know what I mean? I got to find somebody else. Kelvin, am I crazy? I think it's worn out as well.
And I think, Rob, to your point, just look at what they've been doing over the last couple of months. They signed Hollywood Brown. He signed a 1-year deal up to $6.5 million. So they got somebody that can go over the top, be a wide receiver, maybe a 2 behind Devontae Smith, maybe a 3 if they get somebody bigger and better. They got Dontavion Wicks. They got him with the trade with the Green Bay Packers. They did some draft pick swap-a-roos there. So they got the 2027 pick extension, I should say, with him. Elijah Moore signed a 1-year contract March 25th. So they got 3 receivers, in a matter of a couple of months to say it's what it seems like to me, Rob, is screaming, just in case we either trade AJ or AJ's acting crazy and we got to bench him a few times, like whatever it is, we've got some other guys that can catch the ball need be. And also to me, you mentioned something. The Eagles offense has struggled the last 2/3 of the season. They weren't great this past year. With everybody on paper, you'd say this offense should be dynamic, and they weren't.
Saquon Barkley, they didn't have the same offensive line. Yep, they didn't run the ball the way.
No. So that's true. They weren't the same. But where I'm going with this is, if they say to themselves, you know what, we're going to get back to running. We're going to get back to, as you mentioned, a better offensive line. Let's focus on that. We got a good defense. Well, what if that means they're going to not throw the ball quite as much? Well, you already know AJ is going to be upset about that. And there's already reports, that there's some Jalen Hurts doesn't like doing things certain ways. And you've heard me say, I think he should get back to running a bit more. Just 4 to 5 more times a game. That makes him dynamic in that regard. And if they do that and they pass less, then he's not going to be happy, right? So to me, I'd be already preparing. What other holes do we need to fill? You mentioned it. Is it offensive line? Well, let's get an offensive line, a couple of veterans with the trade for it. Is it maybe defensively, some guys in the secondary? To me, I'm looking at it as let's fill some holes. We've got a couple other receivers, and let's get back to playing some more tougher brand of football, running the ball, locking up on defense, using Jalen Hurts some more, and that way you can get the best you can for AJ Brown, because I can't go another year if I'm Sirianni, if I'm Jalen Hurts, if I'm the rest of the team, with every other day, this guy's happy, this guy's mad, he's talking smack online, he's talking smack on Twitch, he's reading books on the sidelines. If you're not winning, Rob, you know what that does to teams. It wears them down, right? It's different when you're winning. You can kind of, all right, we can ignore it. They didn't have a great season. They're trying to build a better season next year through the offseason. And I can see them just being tired and taxed from all his antics.
Yeah, I think so. It wears thin after a while, especially when you didn't help us win another Super Bowl. Do you know what I mean? Like that didn't happen. And that after a while, you're tired of hearing the puppies whine. You're just like it's just nonstop, never happy. Even when they were winning, remember the games that they were winning, and it was always an issue about it. And I think if I'm the Eagles, I just would rather move on and figure something else out. He didn't have like these eye-popping numbers anyway. He complained that he wasn't getting the ball.
Yeah, he barely. I think he had like 1,007 yards.
Right. So somebody else can do that.
Yeah. The other side to that, though, is the Patriots, and that would be a good get for them because, Drake may need some weapons, and he got a little bit exposed those last few weeks of the playoffs where defenses got after him. They were playing better teams. You and I talked about they were feasting on some low-bottom teams, and they need another weapon. And they got the relationship. He and Vrabel back with the Titans. They got a relationship there, so that would be a good pickup for them to now have a real legit guy, offensive weapon, that wants to really kind of bounce back and say, this is who I'm supposed to be, if you will. So I can see that, I can see why they would want him. So we'll see how this all works out. As Shay mentioned, you got to wait till after the draft, maybe June 1st, get some save $20 million with that.
Yeah, real quick before you guys move on. So it's kind of unclear what the Patriots are going to trade the Eagles for A.J. Brown. Do you think he's still worth that first-round pick? Because you kind of mentioned saying that anyone could do with his stats and all that. Do you think he's still worth that first-round pick?
I would try to do anything I could, right? Not to give up a first-round pick if I could.
The Patriots have the 31st pick overall in this draft. But that wouldn't even be able to happen.
Yeah, that's almost a second-round pick. I think you could live with that.
Yeah, they give that up because the thing about A.J. Brown, and this happens all the time in sports, we feel as if people are older than they really are, right? Because he's been around for a while, and you're like, all right, remember him at the time. He's only 28, so if you're telling me if I get the still best of him for another 3 years, it was worth the 31st pick, especially with a Super Bowl caliber team in the Patriots. Obviously, it's going to be another whole season, but they feel like they're trying to get back to that. Why not go get a shoe-in number one receiver like A.J. Brown? So I would do it. It makes sense for them. Reuniting him with Vrabel as well. All right, last call. Last call.
Where are you going? Last call.
It ain't 9:45 on the East, 6:45 or
no, sir. No, sir. And just
right,
just to pull the curtain back a little bit in the next hour or two. Let's talk about Wrestlemania. We're going to get into that for people. I'm interested to hear from people.
I am too.
On WrestleMania.
I'm not going to lie. Me and you talked about it a little bit. My gosh, it was massive.
Okay. I want to hear from people about it because I don't get it, but maybe they can explain it to me.
Yeah, we'll do that. It is the Odd Couple, Rob and Kelvin, hanging out on a Magic City Monday. Stick with your boys, Fox Sports Radio.
All signs point to Rory McIlroy going back-to-back at Augusta.
Back-to-back. Rob, you'll appreciate this. Rob Parker, that is. I think there's a larger conversation than just Rory, and it involves Tiger Woods, your guy, because this is good for golf in the sense that, listen, we talk about it all the time. There's been that Tiger void, right? There's been that, something just isn't right ever since he was out. And then when he came back, obviously won back in, was it 2019? And he's been around golf now for a handful of years, whether it's the TGL or just popping up more often. We see him more often. He's always great for it. But I think this is a good thing for golf because they've had that. Is it Jordan Spieth? Is it Fowler? They couldn't find that guy to kind of take the mantle and run with it. And we thought early on, decade or so, a little over that it would be Rory. Rory had a chance to do this. He won 4 majors early. So he's on a Tiger-esque type of run where you're like, all right, this might be the guy that golf can lean on a little bit. And it ended up not happening for him. He won a couple of tournaments here and there, but he didn't win another major for 10 years, of course, until he won the Masters last year. So he broke through with the Masters. And to me, this is one of those things where it can't just be about winning. And we talk about this all the time in sports. It's not just about winning, right? You can be SGA, be the current MVP, current finals MVP, the Thunder kicking butt. He might win again, but he hasn't quite resonated as that superstar of the NBA. There were times Tim Duncan walked away with 5 rings, but he wasn't that superstar of the NBA. And it happens all the time in sports. And it's not just about being dominant, right? Scottie Scheffler's been incredible the last couple of years. He's on a Tiger-esque type of run as far as his winning. But he don't even sound like he wants to be there. I don't even know if he's built for this. We talk about it all the time. He wants to spend time with his family. That's more of a priority, which I'm not mad at. But he doesn't have this spirit that sounds like I'll take the mantle, I'll take the baton, put it all on me. So I think this is something for golf. If they can get a guy like Rory, who's got a name, who's gone up against Liv, who's talked smack, gets into it with reporters, kind of has a prickly personality, but also has a funny one at times, and also is playing some great golf. This can be good to kind of maybe sort of, no one will ever be Tiger. Duh, that's like Michael Jordan. But maybe just maybe have a guy that's constant, that's winning, that has a personality, that doesn't mind doing media, and doesn't mind kind of taking the mantle and taking the baton and running. And maybe, just maybe, golf can have a guy again. Nobody will be Tiger. That's a once in every 50, 60 year kind of thing. But maybe you have a guy that resonates throughout the sports world just a little bit. So I think they should be happy that they got a guy like Rory that's on pace right now, 12 under, that could possibly win back-to-back Masters.
Disagree. I don't think. I think that's their issue, is that Tiger had cast such a long shadow, even when he wasn't competitive, even when he wasn't playing. No one is ever going to be able to do that, and golf will slip back to where it's always been, which is a niche sport for mostly older guys who spend time on the golf course, businessmen, whatever. It'll go back to that. It'll never be what it was under Tiger. Tiger was totally different, and you could hope that Rory and somebody else will show up and do what he did for golf. I don't believe it under any circumstance.
No, nobody gonna be Tiger.
No, but I'm just saying it's going to slip back. So him winning 2 Masters. I mean, I get it. There's some people who will be like, oh, okay, Rory, and if you're into golf, but the masses, like this being on their radar screen when Tiger was able to play and Tiger was involved, and even, like I said, when he wasn't even a star anymore or wasn't really up to winning stuff, majors or whatever, he still got top billing. This is years after. You know what I mean? Because that's how big he was, bigger than golf. And I don't know if just golf itself, even what they've been trying to get people and push people out there to try to get the same. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm sure they're what the Masters normally are. Not that they're going to like fall off the map, but they won't be Tiger numbers. Tiger the numbers were ridiculous.
No, astronomical. That's why I said that's a once in a 50, 60 year thing. Let me ask you this though. And Rob G, jump in on this too. Is it just race? Meaning, does the next black golfer that's really good?
I don't think it's race at all.
That's what I'm asking. So
it's just
if I'm sitting down with you, I'm running golf, I'm PGA. So that's what I'm saying. So is it simply greatness? Meaning, what if Rory goes on a greatness run? Can that do it?
Good luck. I just don't think anybody's going to put on that kind of run where he was on pace, to catch Jack. I mean, seriously, like nobody else was even close to that forever in golf. And he came on the scene, destroyed, right, when he won the Masters. What was that, 1997? Destroyed the course.
Fox Sports Radio, Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on Magic City Monday. Facing production swings or a tough skills gap, Workforce Solutions from Express Employment Professionals make hiring easier. Find your local office and see how Express can help you hire smarter and faster. Visit expresspros.com today. And now it's time for your Express Pro of the Week. And the Pro of the Week goes to Mike Trout. Mike Trout had an amazing week, bombing all over the Bronx. How long was that series, Rob? What did I say, 12 games?
It felt like 12 games. I mean, every time it kept going like the series is over. No, it ain't. It ain't.
My goodness, Mike Trout looked good. And we talked about it, too. It was really a reminder of kind of like, it was kind of good to see him just get back in his bag and just tell people, don't forget about me. Aaron Judge has been incredible. Shohei has been incredible. But a little before them, it was a period where I was that guy. So it was awesome to see him do his thing as well.
Oh, yeah.
So Pro of the Week goes out to Mike Trout. And also, again, make sure you visit expresspros.com today as well. All right, we were just talking about diva receivers and how that's often who they are and how they are.
Right. Shay, tell us what happened. Shay's going to set up for us.
Yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. is making a long-awaited return to the NFL, and you can think what you want after I say that, but the 33-year-old clearly wants to be a Giant again because this past week he actually started working out with the team. He is actually going to stay there until Tuesday so they can see how the 33-year-old's body can recover also on top of the workouts. Is this a long-awaited return? Is this something that people are waiting for? Or is this something that maybe you should have left it in the dust? Rob, Calvin, what do you guys think?
It's easy for me. Let me quote my co-host. It's easy.
It's easy.
It's a no-brainer. It's time to move on. And I feel bad sometimes, Rob, for athletes and just people in general and other paths as well. But like where it becomes so much of their identity that they can't move on, right? We see it in our profession.
We sure do.
People are. Sometimes it's not even just the age thing, right? Sometimes it's just you've lost it. I mean, I won't call any people out. There's people calling play-by-play in their 80s where it's like, all right now. It's that somebody got to tell them, come on home.
Right, somebody got to tap them on the shoulder at some point.
That tap. I'll give you another example. Dick Clark, towards the end, he has suffered.
Did you say Al Michaels or no? I'm sorry.
I did say Al Michaels.
Okay, go ahead.
And there's some others. And it just gets to the point where they're legends. They have amazing careers.
The Dick Clark one was bad, the one you just brought
Dick
up.
Clark had the stroke, and he had struggled. And so to me, it's okay to say, hey, we've had a career. And the same thing with receivers. Like, he's trying, and I know he wants to, and he recently came out on a podcast, Rob, talking about kind of some financial things, how it ain't as easy as you think, and money ain't, always as lasts as long as you thought. But we haven't seen him be productive in so long, Rob. He's been so injury prone, and it's kind of getting sad now. And I get it if he's going to keep trying till somebody tells him no. The best I would do, Rob, is sign him one day, let him retire a Giant, you know what I mean, and let that be that.
And don't forget, he was suspended last year for 6 games.
Great point.
Right?
Great point.
And I don't know. I'm with you. I just think this ship has sailed. If you're the Giants, stop it. We've already seen guys like this. They try to come back, play for the team that they had their glory with, and then they're hurt in the first week, and that be the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, why are you going here and doing that? It's been years. I don't know. Shay, when was the last time you had a good year? Like it's been years, right? It was the Super Bowl with the Rams, and he had the good first half, and he got hurt. That was it. He might have been the MVP of that if he was staying healthy, right?
The last time we saw him, Rob, was in 2024. He had 9 receptions for 55 yards.
Is that in Baltimore? Where was he?
Yeah, that was, yes.
Right?
And so it's just not been good, and I think it's okay, again, to just call it a career. I mean, I know guys – you know what I mean? They keep trying. They keep, you don't understand this year. Actually, I take that back. That was with Miami. The year before was
Miami.
Baltimore.
Okay.
And, 9 games he played in, Rob. 9. It only had 9. It wasn't like he only played 2 because he was hurt. 9 games you participated in. He only had 9 catches?
That's what I'm saying. I get it. That catch that he made with the Giants, and I understand what he's trying to recapture. He was a star in New York, in the biggest city, right?
Yep.
I mean, he was. Everybody saw that catch. I remember the catch. Mm-hmm. I said to myself, the same time that Chris Collinsworth said it, it's the greatest catch I ever saw. That's what I said.
Incredible.
Everybody said
Rob,
that.
After the first 3 years in New York, what do you think his highest catch total has been?
22.
Well,
I'm just kicking
aside, he had 25 the next year.
Okay.
2 70s, and after that, it's been 23, 17, 27, 35, 9, 44. So it's been downhill, and it's just that time, in my opinion.
All right,
But
we got
maybe he'll prove us
WrestleMania
wrong.
coming up.
I don't know about that. WrestleMania? Let's talk about it, Rob. It's the Odd Couple. You know what time it is. It's your boys.
Let's get it. The Odd Couple is fun.
Check.
And informative.
Check.
What's up, America? You want to talk sports with 1.5 of the best-looking guys in the game?
That game was incredible.
You are wrong. You'll be king of the water cooler.
What's it like working with Rob? Rob, in his mind, is like Chris Rock mixed with Richard Pryor, so I'm running out of fake laughs. Ha ha, Rob. Rob is very passionate.
Son, you ain't ready for this. Well, I don't have BS in my game. I'm straightforward. I'm honest. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. And, of course, it doesn't hurt that I'm right most of the time. Kelvin is the nice guy, wants to make everybody feel warm and fuzzy.
You done? Let me tell you the truth. I bring the energy, a youthful energy. Rob's not gonna see this, is he? And I bring an honest opinion. Michael Jordan, I can't take it anymore. I need a break. I'm gonna go play baseball.
Trash Talking Tuesday is the best.
It's a great opportunity for folks to call in and they get to trash whomever.
Who you trashing, Roger?
I'm trashing LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
They can't even hold Wilt Chamberlain's shoes.
Stop talking about the king like that. It's a new era. Let LeBron be the best, please.
I only recognize one king in the United States, and that's Burger King. The connection with the Odd Couple audience is incredible. We really invite them in.
And they can relate, whether it be things about our own personal lives or our takes on sports.
Love you guys. You guys are killing it.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with your boys. They feel like it's just my guys, just my friends, and they join right in on the show.
We talk with the listeners, not at them.
Obviously, you can listen to us live, but you can still check out the podcast. You can check out our YouTube. You can check us out on social media. So in any way you want to get it, you can get it.
Yes.
There's some yelling. It is some hot takes. It's a whole lot of fun. I'll give you that.
It is fun. I agree. Begrudgingly.
The Odd Couple.
Sports talk that's too good and too fun.
8 minutes to go in the second quarter between the Knicks and Hawks. The Atlanta has overcome an 11-point lead by New York, taking the lead momentarily on a Jonathan Kuminga steal and score, now tied 36 points apiece thanks to a Jordan Clarkson free throw. One more quarter to play between the Cavaliers and Raptors. 84-77, Cleveland on top. You've got three players for the Cavs with 20 points or more: Evan Mobley, James Harden, and Donovan Mitchell. We've got goals on the ice. It is 2-0 Philadelphia over the Penguins right now. Goals for Garnet Hathaway and Porter Martone end of the second period. Hurricanes 2-0 over the Senators in the middle of the 2-1, in the middle of the second period. NFL Network is reporting the Los Angeles Rams are working to extend quarterback Matthew Stafford. Victor Wembanyama was named NBA's Defensive Player of the Year. I'm Chris Perfett.
I've been covering this league since 1987.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Hour number 3 here on a Magic City Monday. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. That's right. Here on Fox Sports Radio, you got the Odd Couple locked in. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. That's right. We're on every night live on YouTube. Just search Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. You could also tap the thumbs up icon, and you could leave a comment or so. We appreciate it. If you haven't done it, man, subscribe. We want you to join in on the Odd Couple family, the Odd Mob. We'll do that. So, again, just search Odd Couple FSR and subscribe. Don't forget, coming up in about 28 minutes, Rob Rang, Fox Sports NFL Draft Analyst. We will talk to him about the draft that's coming up on Thursday. And just a programming note for the Odd Couple, we got the big draft special coming up that night. So we'll be on for 1 hour from 7 to 8 Eastern, and then the draft takes place. Remember, we will still be on that draft night for 1 hour, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific for 1 hour on what is that, Thursday?
Yep, Thursday.
Thursday. So a lot to get to as well. Kelvin, this is something that I want to get. I hope a lot of people, we're not going to talk long about it because I would like to get as many calls in on this if we could.
Uh-huh.
But WrestleMania was this past weekend. And I'm just going to pull the covers back. When I was a kid, I watched wrestling. It was weird for me as a kid because my favorite wrestler was a black guy named S.D. Jones, Special Delivery Jones.
It's kind of a dope name.
Yeah, S.D. Jones. He was right. And Kelvin, back then, he would be like great the whole match, all that, but he could never pin the guy down. You know, like they
never let the brother win.
They never let the brother win. It used to bother me as a kid. I used to be like, how come he can't win? Like he was dominating the entire match, and then at the end, like he'd have the other guy down, and the other guy would flip him, and then the referee would do the quick boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And he was out. Yeah. S.D. Jones. I know there are older people listening who remember that, but I grew out of it. You know, you realize like it's fake, it's phony, it's scripted, and you grow out of it. And I know there's been all kinds of stories on it and whatnot. And ESPN signed this big deal with them, and they're treating it like it's real, like it's a competition. They're doing stories on SportsCenter like it's. I'm not against entertainment, and I know the E and ESPN is entertainment. But it should be separate. Do you know what I mean? You can't mix it in with the football. We're going to go from a football story to a WWE story to a baseball. No, that one of these do not go together. And I'm just shocked to see ESPN, and I know McAfee was involved, and I get it. He's one of their personalities. Stephen A. was there so that they could boo Stephen A., you know, and all that. And that goes with the territory. It just tells you're a big guy when they're booing you at an event like that. But it was a big ordeal. And I just saw stuff online where social media, people were ripping it that it wasn't good. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of commercials and then 4 hours, and they only wrestled for an hour and a half out of those 4 hours. So there were a lot of people disgruntled. But my point is this. I can't understand how people are still into grown men are still into wrestling. I can't. We all went to the zoo. We all went to the circus as kids, right? And at some point, Kelvin, you grow out of it. I just cannot get over how older guys who are sports fans, who watch the NFL, who watch Major League Baseball, who watch the NBA, they live and die for that stuff, but they have this soft spot for wrestling, and they're walking around with the belts, and they're going to a watch party at a sports bar, whatever it may be. I need somebody to explain it to me because I don't understand it. And Kelvin, maybe you can help me.
I'm gonna explain it to you, even though unfortunately I'm more aligned with you.
Okay,
but I'm gonna explain it.
Boy, now tell me about your history, though.
I'm with you.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was all in. I was that WWF era of Hulk Hogan, Coco Beware. Don't quote me, by the way, because they'll tell me, no, he was in WWE, WCW.
Right.
My point is, these were the wrestlers I was watching, okay? Because they're going to come for me, Rob. But the Ultimate Warrior, Jesse the Body Ventura, I was just that era. I could, go on and on. Andre the Giant, like the 84, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to about 91, 92, 93.
Was Chief
that was
J,
your boy,
was Chief
from
J
like 5 to
Strongbow
12.
still there or no? He was out. He was gone.
No,
Okay.
not for me. So from like 6 to 12-ish was in. Like everybody, even my sister. Shout out to my sister, Dubby. We were in on a Saturday. I can't think it came on at like noon. It was just fun. You're all in. And to your point, I didn't really know it was choreographed. I just knew I loved Hulk Hogan, and I loved the Ultimate Warrior, and I loved, like I said, the $1 Million Man and Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Right.
Like I was in. And then Roddy Piper. I could go on and on.
And then puberty
But
hit,
Rob,
right?
Puberty hit, and I really started to understand, this ain't real. And I felt, now I'm like knee deep in the Barry Sanders and the Pistons and Go Blue, and Michigan Wolverines are taking off in my life. Fab Five. So I kind of like, all right, cool. I get it. It was entertaining. You peek in every now and again to see who the big new hot guy was, wrestling. But it was weird as I got into high school. That's when The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin started taking off. And guys are like, to your point, quoting them and walking around and doing it. I'm like, yo, Shorty over there, she ain't trying to hear all that. Like, or you don't want to go to the mall? And so that's when the separation started for me. Then college hits. And now I'm really going, right? I'm throwing parties in college. I'm working in college. I'm trying to participate in my school academics, and yet and still, can you smell what The Rock is cooking? And guys were real. And then the advent of the video games start really taking off. So I'll fast forward a little bit for you, Rob. What I think happened was, I'm out here. I got a job, or I'm finishing college, or now I'm 20, my mentor. I got a job. Here's the one thing I can hang on. That's still my youth. That thing I can come home and have that is me. And have that I can almost still be a 10-year-old boy with my friends like back in the day. What did you guys do? And I did it too. Collect baseball cards, right? Well, you come up, meet up Saturday, and I'll trade you, and we'll do this, and I'll look which ones you get. Open up a package, Upper Deck. And so I think it's that little thing that guys carried with them that, like, they got a wife and kid, they got career, but here's my little place for 2 hours. I can zone out and be a 12-year-old boy again. And women, maybe for them, it's I work hard, I got this. But I'm going to zone out on these Real Housewives of Pick a City. And I know it's stupid. I know it ain't even really the realest, but I'm going to have fun and I'm going to enjoy it. And I think that's what it became for guys. And then it got into pop culture with like hip-hop artists. Politics, right? You got President Trump. Even before him, how you got... Dana White, tying into sports and UFC and wrestling and politics. I just think it started to intertwine into social media and politics and hip hop guys, and it's the new thing to do. Like you pull up on them, you go performing. Now I Show Speed, one of the huge social media influencer. By the way, I did go to my little nephew's flag football game, went to their house. I Show Speed he might have a new career in this, Rob. And for those who watch it, they know what I'm talking about. But it's just not my deal. But when I tell you, it was everywhere I went to go pick up food, they were watching it. Back at my little, our family's house, hanging out, they're watching it. It's just pervasive, and I think it just gives them, Rob, that little bit of bro time, right? Zone out, the bros. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to be into politics. I don't have to pay bills. I can just have this world for me, that for my little glimpse of time, this little moment where I can just be little me again and put all my cares away and enjoy it. And I just think that's their thing. For you, it's probably a ballpark, a baseball game.
Right, but the difference is, I agree. I hear what you're saying, okay, and all that about escape. But I thought when you're a sports fan, right, before when you were a kid.
I take it back. No, it's for you, it's Magic City, Rob.
Okay, that's Magic City.
There's the equivalent. I'm serious. That's the equivalent. I go there, I have fun, eat some wings, flirt a little bit.
But it ain't fake, though. It ain't fake.
It's other people in thongs.
It ain't fake at Magic City. That's real.
It's other people in thongs.
I'm just saying, like the thing that I can't understand.
There are some fake things going on in there, too.
Is how much, like, sports fans who really are into games and stuff, and you know what makes sports, why sports is still as relevant as anything out there, is it's really reality television, right? Real reality. We don't know what's going to happen. Right. Kelvin, that's what keeps bringing us back, right? We don't know. We don't know that the Pistons are going to win or lose on Sunday. We don't. We really don't know. We hope, we think, we don't know.
Right.
The only two things that move the television audience today, live sporting events and national news. That's it.
That's
it. But there's these people who live and die with.
Don't you people then?
No, I'm just. But who
you people
who live and die with like Wrestlemania, and I find it weird. All right, Chris, you want to chime in? Are you on wrestling or no?
So I've actually covered wrestling in various things. I actually worked on a podcast project with a friend back home about wrestling hotlines.
Did they send you the script ahead of time so that when you were talking story?
No. But I also, you would know this at USC. My master's thesis was on kids in SoCal training to be pro wrestlers. So like this is a bit in my background. Like I think first off, nobody who's watching WrestleMania knows the outcome either, even though there is one written. Nobody actually has the insight.
The idea is that it's fake, though, is that there is an outcome.
But the hits aren't fake. The athleticism on display isn't fake. These guys can't exactly.
It's predetermined.
Rob is saying results. We don't know who's going to win tonight.
But I think when people watch wrestling, they're not watching just for the result. They don't care about just the result. It's the journey, not the destination. You care a lot more about, wow, that's an amazing hit, or like how well they pull. Like, you don't want to see the punch getting pulled. It's how much these guys can simulate that. And again, when these guys get thrown to the mat, or when I
see Pat McAfee knocked over and put on a stretcher, I'm supposed to really feel like Pat McAfee just got roughed up by a pro wrestler?
Look, there's no other way. There's no other way to simulate when you get crushed by a guy through a table. You have to take that hit at some point. That is still visceral.
The physical. Listen, I'll give them that. I've seen the documentaries. These guys are beaten, battered, and bruised, and some of them have committed suicide from the pain. Some guys are in rehab from the pain meds they've had. It is brutal on the body. There ain't no denying that.
All right, let's throw it out. I want to get as many calls in as we can, and I'm not here to wrestle shame anybody or call you a name, because
no judging.
We're not judging you. I just want you to explain what it is that still makes you, like, to this day, still be. I understand a 9-year-old boy.
In Magic City. Look how giddy you are for August. Look at the face. Look at your face right now. You working out strictly now? You there like your doctor's like, Rob, you've been doing great. Your blood work looks great. I don't give a dang about that. I'm trying to look good for Sugar and them and Cinnamon and Scorpion at Magic City. And that's their Magic City, Rob. where it doesn't make sense. Other people go, why you like Magic City so much? Or why you want to go there? And you look at the joy and you just don't get it. I mean, it's fun. It's this. It's wings. It's just a night. That's I think I'm patting myself on the back, dang it. That's the best way to equate it.
877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Are you into the WrestleMania? Did you watch the weekend? Why do you still like wrestling if you're a sports fan and you kind of know it's already pre-scripted? Or what is it, an escape for you? Were you a kid? Did you give up on it? Just call up and we want to hear from you on wrestling. How does that fit into your life? It doesn't fit into Kelvin's life anymore. It doesn't fit into my life. Like I saw like clips or whatever, but I didn't watch it. You know what I mean? I couldn't avoid it.
The numbers are staggering of I looked at all the numbers, the money they made, the amount of people that watched it. They had 120 something people for the 2 nights. They made $66 million at the gate. I mean, it grossed 330 something million for the greater Vegas area. I mean, my gosh, it was huge.
All right, 877-99 on Fox. We want to hear from you. It is The Odd Couple on a Magic City Monday. Magic City's better than pro wrestling. Right here on Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay, America.
All right, let me tell you about Webull. Every sports season is built on preparation, studying the trends, and making the necessary adjustments to reach the ultimate goal. Investing deserves the same approach. And with Webull, you have access to real-time market data, advanced tools, and an intuitive app that is designed to help you make informed decisions. Whether you're actively trading stocks, options, ETFs, and more, or maybe you're planning for the long term for you and your family with IRAs, cash management, and custodial accounts for children, Webull gives you the tools to invest your way, all in one platform. So if you're looking to take your preparation to the next level, check out Webull's Learn resources and join their in-app community feed to discuss investing fees and happenings alongside 25 million users globally. And now to help streamline your trading activities and elevate your strategy, try Vega, Webull's personal marketing AI assistant that can give you real-time analysis, watch list insights, and alerts when your earnings drop. So get your financial portfolio game ready by downloading the Webull app today or visiting Webull.com.
All signs point to Rory McIlroy going back-to-back at Augusta.
Back-to-back. Rob, you'll appreciate this. Rob Parker, that is. I think there's a larger conversation than just Rory, and it involves Tiger Woods, your guy, because this is good for golf in the sense that, listen, we talk about it all the time. There's been that Tiger void, right? There's been that, something just isn't right ever since he was out. And then when he came back, obviously won back in, was it 2019? And he's been around golf now for a handful of years, whether it's the TGL or just popping up more often. We see him more often. He's always great for it. But I think this is a good thing for golf because they've had that. Is it Jordan Spieth? Is it Fowler? They couldn't find that guy to kind of take the mantle and run with it. And we thought early on, decade or so, a little over that it would be Rory. Rory had a chance to do this. He won 4 majors early. So he's on a Tiger-esque type of run where you're like, all right, this might be the guy that golf can lean on a little bit. And it ended up not happening for him. He won a couple of tournaments here and there, but he didn't win another major for 10 years, of course, until he won the Masters last year. So he broke through with the Masters. And to me, this is one of those things where it can't just be about winning. And we talk about this all the time in sports. It's not just about winning, right? You can be SGA, be the current MVP, current finals MVP, the Thunder kicking butt. He might win again, but he hasn't quite resonated as that superstar of the NBA. There were times Tim Duncan walked away with 5 rings, but he wasn't that superstar of the NBA. And it happens all the time in sports. And it's not just about being dominant, right? Scottie Scheffler's been incredible the last couple of years. He's on a Tiger-esque type of run as far as his winning. But he don't even sound like he wants to be there. I don't even know if he's built for this. We talk about it all the time. He wants to spend time with his family. That's more of a priority, which I'm not mad at. But he doesn't have this spirit that sounds like I'll take the mantle, I'll take the baton, put it all on me. So I think this is something for Goff. If they can get a guy like Rory, who's got a name, who's gone up against Liv, who's talked smack, gets into it with reporters, kind of has a prickly personality, but also has a funny one at times, and I think, and also is playing some great golf. This can be good to kind of maybe sort of, no one will ever be Tiger. Duh, that's like Michael Jordan. But maybe just maybe have a guy that's constant, that's winning, that has a personality, that doesn't mind doing media, and doesn't mind kind of taking the mantle and taking the baton and running. And maybe, just maybe, Goff can have a guy again. Nobody will be Tiger. That's a once in every 50, 60 year kind of thing. But maybe you have a guy that resonates throughout the sports world just a little bit. So I think they should be happy that they got a guy like Rory that's on pace right now, 12 under, that could possibly win back-to-back Masters.
Disagree. I don't think. I think that's their issue, is that Tiger had cast such a long shadow, even when he wasn't competitive, even when he wasn't playing. No one is ever going to be able to do that, and golf will slip back to where it's always been, which is a niche sport for mostly older guys who spend time on the golf course, businessmen, whatever. It'll go back to that. It'll never be what it was under Tiger. Tiger was totally different, and you could hope that Rory and somebody else will show up and do what he did for golf. I don't believe it under any circumstance.
No, nobody gonna be Tiger.
No, but I'm just saying it's going to slip back. So him winning 2 Masters. I mean, I get it. There's some people who will be like, oh, okay, Rory, and if you're into golf, but the masses, like this being on their radar screen when Tiger was able to play and Tiger was involved, and even, like I said, when he wasn't even a star anymore or wasn't really up to winning stuff, majors or whatever, he still got top billing. This is years after. You know what I mean? Because that's how big he was, bigger than golf. And I don't know if just golf itself, even with they've been trying to get people and push people out there to try to get the same. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm sure they're what the Masters normally are. Not that they're going to like fall off the map, but they won't be Tiger numbers. Tiger did, the numbers were ridiculous.
No, astronomical. That's why I said that's a once in a 50, 60 year thing. Let me ask you this though. And Rob G, jump in on this too. Is it just race? Meaning, does the next black golfer that's really good?
I don't think it's race at all.
That's what I'm asking. So
it's just
if I'm sitting down with you, I'm running golf, I'm PGA. So there, that's what I'm saying. So is it simply greatness? Meaning, what if Rory goes on a greatness run? Can that do it?
Good luck. I just don't think anybody's going to put on that kind of run where he was on pace, to catch Jack. I mean, seriously, like nobody else was even close to that forever in golf. And he came on the scene, destroyed, right, when he won the Masters. What was that, 1997? Destroyed the course.
Fox Sports Radio. Let's get to these calls.
You already know the lines are jammed. You already know.
You already know. At University of Maryland, global campus, you can choose from more than 65 graduate online degrees and certificates, including our MBA, now with 10 specializations. No application fee through June 1st. Visit umgc.edu. Rob Rang on the way, but it's the Odd Couple on a Magic City Monday. We want to take a bunch of calls. Wrestlemania fans, no judgment. Hey, school us. Maybe we're missing out.
Yep.
I used to love it as a kid. Rob did too. We're out of it, but you love it. Why? Hit us up, 877-99 on Fox. Who we got?
All right, Harold in Seattle. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Harold? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How you doing, brother? Been listening since day one. Huge fan.
Man, thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
Thank you, Harold.
Hey, bro. Look, get rid of wrestling. The worst thing about wrestling right now, you got to get it off of ESPN because I hate to say this, but I agree with Rob. it makes the other sports look bad. It looks like this is legitimate. Get rid of it.
Like so, you could air it on ESPN, but to do Sports Center stories and breakdowns, it's just it's idiotic. It's idiotic.
Man, they had a full-on pre- and post-game setup, like 5 minutes. I mean, like it was just,
you know what that would be like? That would be like ESPN doing a post-show on a Friends episode. You know, like
hey,
like what?
We getting that. Don't give no ideas, Rob.
Crazy. Harold, thanks, man. Appreciate the call.
It, Harold.
How about Kurt in North Dakota? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio on a Magic City Monday. What's up, Kurt?
Kelvin, Rob, thank you very much. You guys are the best.
Thank you, Kurt. Appreciate you.
I'm with. Hey, I love you guys. I'm with Harold as far as getting it off the real sports things, and but you know, I hear Kelvin's point too. You know, these guys are highly trained. You know, they pay the price, and it's kind of like ballet for macho guys. But anyways, my real point is, touching on what Rob said, was when you're watching real sports on TV, you have the opportunity to see a guy have the greatest day in his life. You know, I watched Joe Namath win the Super Bowl. You know, I watched Michael Jordan wins all kinds of championships. You know, and the only thing that really compares to that, maybe if you win the Academy Award, that might be the greatest day of your life. But when you're watching sports, you have the opportunity to see somebody have the greatest day of their life, and you bond with that. So that's all I got. But I love you guys. It's a great show, man.
No doubt. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Hey,
always.
brought up something. It is. Hey, it kind of is a male. You know, the strong man, muscle man ballet, if to an extent.
And you know what? I'll give you this, Kelvin. There used to be a day when we used to record stuff and watch it. Okay, those days are over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when was the last time you recorded a game and watched it? You don't. It's about the reality of it happening, that you want to see a game. Like that's the urgency of it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's still relevant and still drawing the big numbers. Andy in Washington, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Andy? How are you?
I'm good, Robin. Kelvin. Oh, okay, so I got the nostalgia thing going for me. As a kid, I had it on the schedule. I bugged my parents. We had to get home at a certain time to watch it, so I got that going. But Rob, S.D. Jones.
You remember him?
Oh, special delivery.
Yes.
Yeah, you're killing me, Rob. Anyhow, I'm not a religious super fan. I'm taking my kids to a few shows for the entertainment.
Right, it's entertainment, and I get it. Like going to Savannah Banana Entertainment, like going to the Harlem Globetrotters. As long as we put it in that. When was the last time the ESPN ran Harlem Globetrotter scores?
Highlights.
No, scores. That's what it would be like. Am I right, Kelvin?
Yeah, but they're all in. To your point, man, they have adopted it. They have, like I said, they've got, dude, pre and post game. I'm not going to lie, Rob. I was laughing when I saw a guy like, yeah, right now. So what they got to really do is, it was like he was going to say, run a 2-3 zone, set it up with the, backside boxing one. They were I was like, all right.
Then you take the folding chair, bash it over his head, and then throw him out the ring.
The black brown ones are always a little lighter than the East, so you want to swing it at a 95-degree angle. Like, I was like, okay, they're really all in on this. But again, I'm like, maybe I'm on the outside.
Andrew in Bakersfield, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Andrew? How are you?
I'm well, and thank you, guys. This is ESPN's exclusive coverage of a play by Shakespeare. Don't know if you've heard about it. It's Romeo and Juliet. So the lead actress is blah, blah, and we are wondering what's going to happen. So we're going to be your play-by-play. Thank you, guys.
Okay, there you go.
Right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
How about some people who love wrestling? What about Duncan in Washington? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Duncan?
What's up, Duncan?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm 58 years old. I grew up watching wrestling. I love it. I realize it's fake.
Okay.
But it's like I told the guy that answered the phone earlier. You watch Penta do a Mexican destroyer on somebody? If they don't practice that just right, he just killed that guy.
Okay. So it's still entertaining.
Look it up.
It's still entertaining to you regardless, even though you know that it's predetermined who's going to win and the storylines and all that.
tick off every time they have a pay-per-view because I'll call them up like a week ahead going, okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And I'm like 90% right.
Right.
Because it's a soap opera. It's a male soap opera.
Yeah, I got it. All right, appreciate it, Duncan.
Really is.
Thank
That's
you.
the best way to look at it.
How about Bob in Michigan? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Bob?
Yo.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Doing great. You?
So, great, man. Just got out of work. Listen to you guys every night coming home.
Thank you.
Love
Appreciate
the show.
you.
But, man, for me, as a kid, I loved it so much. When I was a freshman in high school, I released myself from the hospital so I didn't miss it. Now I have a son who's 9 who absolutely loves it, and that's reignited my love for it. But the thing for me is when you go to a show and you see kids or girlfriends or wives going for the first time,
right?
And the girlfriend or wife is like, oh, this is going to suck. Then halfway through, she is loved. Like,
That's true. I've seen that.
There's no other sport that's universally loved by a 6-year-old and an 86-year-old, and everything in between.
I get your son and you wanting to connect with your son and doing that because when I was a kid, we watched it as a family as well and all that back in the day. So I do understand that. But these guys who are grown men and they're still into it without the kids being involved is strange to me. But that's just me. One more. Thanks, Bob. We appreciate you. How about Tony in Michigan? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tony?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How are
I'm
you?
A little bummed about my Pistons, but I'm hanging in there.
Hang in there.
Yeah.
Game 2 is what, Wednesday
We're
night?
going to be all right. We're going to be all right,
Yeah.
man, you know.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Anyways, I just wanted to talk a little bit of wrestling. I am a fan, but, I mean, I get the adult aspect of, you know, people thinking we live at home with our parents and never grew up. But,
right.
You know, my wife will watch movies and she'll be like, oh, that would never happen. And I think cynics of wrestling do kind of the same thing. But if you suspend your suspicion and just enjoy the storylines, and then the wrestling match is the payoff. So I think if people are a little more open to that, maybe people would actually start enjoying it. And then, you know, just the way they're able to kind of control the narrative. I mean, look at boxing. I bet you they wish they could control who's champion, what's entertaining.
Right.
And, you know, they can throw out 70-year-old guys like Ric Flair and people will watch. So.
But the thing that I got to admit, when I was a kid and I didn't know it was fixed or rigged or whatever, scripted, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like I watched it like I watched a game or something like, oh, man, SD Jones, he's going to win tonight. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Chief J Strongbow. I want to see Chief J Strongbow won or whatever. And then, boom, it didn't happen. All right.
Yeah, I once I was tapped out, Rob, I tapped out. Like it was like the veil was lifted and I just couldn't jump back in. That's for me. All right, appreciate all the calls and good stuff, man. Good topic there. Rob Rain, Fox Sports NFL Draft Analyst on the other side, USC. Chris, getting you updated now.
You know, I was trying to go around looking if I could find some Harlem Globetrotters scores. And half the time on these streams, they didn't even put a score bug up. Last one I got was a 142-138 game from 3 months ago. So, hey.
That might be it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with the last caller, too, about boxing. But, hey, you know, a lot of people believe Jake Paul, the Paul brothers, are fighting real boxing matches, too. So you can't help some people. What can we say? Speaking of the real games, dying seconds of the game between the Cavaliers and Raptors. Look like Cleveland will cruise to victory on this one. 110-101 with 30 seconds to go. We'll see if we get any kind of late explosives, but James Harden going to the free throw line. James Harden's got 27 points in this game. Evan Mobley, 25. Donovan Mitchell, 30. And Jarrett Allen hitting 10 points. That's 4 players in double-digit points. Meanwhile, the Hawks and Knicks, New York back on top at halftime, 61-54 with a half to play. New York trying to take a 2-0 series lead. On the ice, the Flyers in the middle of the third period, 10 minutes to go in this game, have a 2-0 lead on the Penguins. The Senators have battled back end of the second period to a 2-2 draw right now. We've got 1 period there to play. Major League Baseball's scoreboard, the Dodgers have a 4-1 lead over the Rockies. End of the third inning. Of course, the bad news for the Dodgers, that closer Edwin Diaz is set for elbow surgery, according to reports on Monday. Procedure to remove loose bodies in his right elbow. He could miss up to 3 months. The Cubs with a 5-1 lead over the Phillies, top of the 7th inning. And early in the day, the Red Sox defeated the Tigers 8-6. Back to the Odd Couple. Thank you, guys. It's been great tonight.
No doubt. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Have a great night. It's the Odd Couple, Rob and Kelvin, on a Magic City Monday, or should we call it a WrestleMania Monday? The equivalent to Magic City. That's what I'm going to start calling it. Henceforth, Rob, it is no longer Magic City Monday. It's WrestleMania Monday.
Hey, I remember at one point. I know let's get to our guest.
Yeah. We'll talk about it later. Rob Rang joining us now, Fox Sports NFL draft analyst. Rob Rang on X. Rob, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's happening?
I'm doing great, gentlemen. How are you?
All good?
Doing great. Let's jump into this draft. I want to start at the top. It's interesting with Mendoza. We've had a few analysts come on over the last couple of weeks. One says he doesn't see it at all, don't get this guy at all, overrated. But another, Adam Kaplan's a little bit more measured, saying, if this were maybe a better quarterback year, he wouldn't be one, he'd maybe be somewhere else. Where are you on Mendoza? Is he just fortunate that this is the year that it is, or do you really buy into him?
I buy into him as the player, as the human being, and certainly in the fit with Clint Kubiak and the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, my comparison with Fernando Mendoza is a little bit of Jared Goff, and what I mean by that is I think that he lacks elite arm strength, but I think that he certainly can make every throw to the perimeter. I think that he's at his best in anticipating where the holes are in the defense and throwing with timing and precision. I also think there's some Andrew Luck there, and what I mean by that is just the build. I mean, 6'5", he's 235 pounds, he's mobile, and then he's also a little bit of kind of a nerd. Sorry to say it that way, but just kind of he doesn't have that. Oh my goodness, this is the kind of quarterback that everybody was looking for as far as being like the leader of men, the tough guy, the life of the party kind of a persona. But I also think that if you're going to be drafted into the city of Las Vegas, then maybe that makes sense. And so I think that he is, a really nice fit for the Las Vegas Raiders and the best opportunity that they have had to compete in the AFC West in an awful long time.
How about somebody out there who maybe the average Joes don't know that might, be a higher pick than anticipated because they fit with a team or they're just that good? Is there any names out there like that?
Well, I think that, is maybe a little bit low-hanging fruit here, guys. But with the big trade of, Dexter Lawrence to the Cincinnati Bengals, now, of course, the New York Giants have number 10 overall selection. And I think that the reason why John Harbaugh pulled this off in the first place is, for one, to get Dexter Lawrence, who's a little bit of a malcontent, out of the system and really prove that Harbaugh is running things in New York, but also to put him in position to draft Francis Mariota, the big right tackle, who I think is going to be plugged in at right guard for the New York Giants. I think that they are also going to be selecting, if he is available, the running back, Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame at number 5 overall. And suddenly the New York Giants are going to have a fearsome running game. And everybody's going to focus in on Jeremiah Love for obvious reasons. Right. But I think that Maui Noah is really one of the big kind of steals that is a perfect fit for what Harbaugh wants to do. And I think that he is going to be very much the player that they were targeting with the trade of Dexter Lawrence in the first place.
Well, I'll tell you what, I want to get to another guy here in just a moment. Rob Ring on with the Odd Couple, Rob and Kelvin on a Magic City Monday. This person is built out of a movie. Remember that movie, the NFL draft movie they had? Was it Draft Day, I think it was called, with Kevin Costner? Yep. He reminds me as if he was some character in that the late Chadwick Boseman played, the late great. That is Sonny Styles. I mean, everybody's just, oh my gosh, he's amazing. He's just built out of a lab. Tell me how good he is, of course, from Ohio State linebacker. Some have him maybe going at 5 to the Giants. But what do you like about him, and what do you expect from him?
Well, as you just said, I mean, he is like almost like a cyborg. I mean, just an unbelievable combination of size and athletic ability. Of course, this is a storyline that people have talked about for a long time now. He was originally brought in to Ohio State as a safety, just kept getting bigger and maintained that speed. He goes to the combine, 43.5-inch vertical jump, 4.46 40-yard dash. He's 6'5". He's 246 pounds, guys. I mean, he's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster, he's more explosive than just about any draft prospect in this entire class. So, I mean, he's unbelievable talent. It's the reason why I think that the aforementioned Jeremiah Love might be available to the New York Giants at number 5 overall, because I think that Robert Saleh and the Tennessee Titans at number 4 are just going to be enamored with what that he might be able to provide, that Sonny Styles might be able to provide for their team. I see the comparisons to, a Bobby Wagner or a Fred Warner, and I just kind of chuckle because I think that he could be even better than them in terms of just the physical traits. Yeah. Now, it remains to be seen if he can have that type of success. I mean, their instincts, their the durability that both of those players have shown over their potentially Hall of Fame careers. You can't just laugh at that. But at the same time, I think that Sonny Styles, you can make an argument, is the best pound-for-pound athlete of this entire draft.
Got a great name, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. That's a made in Hollywood kind of name. Who does the best job of drafting? I know for a long time the Packers always had their teams filled with their players. They weren't into the free agents or doing that. They would just draft a lot. Who does the best job, do you think, as an organization, as drafting and developing players?
I love the fact that you mentioned, the Packers. I immediately thought of the Kansas City Chiefs as well. The Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. I was going to say the Ravens are definitely on that list.
What? I think you have to also kind of kiss the ring with the defending Super Bowl champion right now, Seattle, Seahawks, and what John Schneider and his staff have been able to do. I mean, people just kind of forget the fact that Mike McDonald has been a head coach for 2 years. And John Schneider is the only general manager in all of the NFL who has built 2 different Super Bowl winning rosters. And he did it with Sam Darnold, that a lot of people were kind of laughing at, where it wasn't going to be successful for anybody. And so last year, after the 2025 NFL draft, guys, I thought that the Seahawks absolutely knocked it out of the park. I love the selection of Gray Zabel in the first round. I love the bold trade up for Nick Eamon-Wari at the top of the second round, and obviously both of them wound up playing a starring role for the Seahawks this past season. Look, it's easy hanging fruit for me here living in the Pacific Northwest, right. But I just think that they deserve an awful lot of credit for the fact that not only for this Super Bowl winner, but the ones in the past as well.
All right.
Well, we'll leave it there, Ray. Appreciate you, man. Thank you
appreciate
so much.
it for the insight. Thank
Rob,
you.
I'm sorry, Rob Rang is what I was trying to say there. Hey, we got a few days for the draft, so we'll see how this all works out. Before we get there, you can follow Rob at Rob Rang, R-A-N-G, on X. Rob, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Last call.
Now it's last call.
Now it's what you trying to say? What, last call, last hour? 877-99 on Fox, 877-99 on Fox. Last call. You couldn't get in, or you still want to yell at me and Rob about Wrestlemania? It's your chance to do so. Hit us up. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah, this is a crazy story, guys. When you consider where the Celtics are relative to where we expected them to be. Like, people thought this was going to be a gap year. No JT. Jaylen Brown's cool. Derek White's fine. But realistically, maybe they're a play-in team at best. Well, now, as we move forward, they're looking like the team to beat in the Eastern Conference, according to all the odds makers. And a big reason why is because Jaylen Brown has taken the next step in a big way. And Jason Tatum has proven to be more back from his Achilles injury than anybody could ever expected. Which made it very interesting that over the weekend, the Athletic's Sam Amick made headlines when he wrote in a column and then doubled down on FanDuel TV, saying that it depends on how these playoffs go. if the Celtics are one and done or they're out in the second round, don't be surprised if they decide maybe it's time to break up the Jays.
Okay, so that's a bad column by Sam Amick.
More
okay?
specifically,
that's a bad column.
It's time to break them up for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Why is it bad?
Because he said, "Don't be surprised." That's not telling the column should be. I'm dead serious. That they should break them up, and here are the reasons why. Not don't be surprised if they break them up, because you're not really saying anything, and it's okay for him as a columnist to just say,
"This is why I think they should
break them up and bring in Giannis with one of these two." That's all.
Mm-hmm. Well, the idea of it, and if I get your point on the
that's
column.
all. I'm just saying that's his license as a columnist.
That's kind of what the point is.
That's
Give
the
us
point.
your opinion.
Exactly.
I personally ain't breaking up the Jays. Jalen, Jason, stick around. I like what they've been able to do. I think they've been incredible together. You've got now, 8 years, give or take, together. They've been to a couple of 9 years. This is season 9. They've gone to 2 finals. They've won 1. They've been to 5, 6 Eastern Conference finals. And I think they've been, as we talk with Gary who covers the team, they've been able to grow together. They've been able to kind of, that I have a good friend. Shout out to my very good friend Victor, man. And over the years, we've been able to grow together and have that natural competitiveness. Like, I'm doing well. I'm growing here. Oh, you do? Okay, I love it. And it's iron sharpening iron. Iron sharpening iron. And I think they've been able to do that as well. And so I like what they have, considering, too, it's not like they're 34 and it might be time to break up Pippen and Jordan because they were in their 30s. And they're young. They're like 28. So to me, I'm not breaking this up. And specifically, I'm not breaking it up for Giannis. You asked why? I'll tell you. Giannis is often injured now. He's been injured pretty much every season now. The severity will change, but he's been injured. Secondly, Giannis, when not injured, hasn't really elevated his team in what you all call the Eastern Conference. So if you're in the Eastern Conference, you're one of the 1, 2, 3 best players in the league. Why are we not elevating? Why are we not always in the Eastern Conference finals at minimum, let alone the finals? And I just saw Jaylen Brown, Rob, who we just all acknowledged. We thought, they'd be, 6 seed, 7 seed, because they got some guys around there. They got the same coach. Maybe they'll fight. We didn't expect them to be competing for the number 1 seed in the East. They ultimately didn't get it, but he did that without 90-some% of the games without Jason Tatum. And I think that would be the guy most people would look to get rid of. If they had to get rid of the Jays, they would get rid of Jaylen Brown. And I don't like that. I'm not getting rid of him. His temperament, I think he makes the team competitive and feel like they got some fight. His heart, he elevated his game. He found a way to get even better. We thought he was good, but he got even better. I think not making that Olympic team added a little fuel to him. He's great on both ends. So I'm not trading a Jay for a Giannis just because I don't think it's ultimately worth it. I don't know if Giannis is going to stay healthy enough. I don't know if he elevates the team, and I might have to give up too much, and that's what makes the Celtics special. All the other guys around, they're really a really deep team. And if I had to, I'm not so sure I'm giving up Jalen like everybody would expect you to. I like what he does for that team. So I'm not with it. Giannis is incredible, but I'm riding with the Jalens and Jasons and going to see where these Jays can take us for another 5 years. I like them kind of wanting to be better than each other and keep building up, the high tide rising, the whole ship here. And I'm not getting rid of that yet. Now I'll pass. You can have him. Maybe he go to Miami, go to the Knicks. But if I'm the Celtics, I like what I have here.
It would have to be like to me, even the Giannis thing, I'm not like running to do that. It would have to be such, I don't know who it could be, you know what I mean, to make me want to make that. But it is hard to break up because they've had so much success together and they seem to be able to coexist.
Fox Sports Radio, one more time for your boys, the Odd Couple, Rob and Kelvin. Big shout out to Rob Rang. Just joined us there. Rob Rang on X. Give him a follow. We'll have that up on the pod. Speaking of, if you miss any of today's show, be sure to catch the podcast. Just search The Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast. And be sure to follow the pod, rate it 5 stars, provide a review. Just search The Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast. You're going to find today's full show, a best-of version, posted right at the end of the show. Also, don't forget, TireRack.com, always the place to go when you're needed. For over 40 years, TireRack's been helping customers find the right tires for how, for what, and for where they drive. Ship fast and free. Backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, it is the way tire buying should be. Let's get to last call.
Chris in Colorado, what's happening?
Going on, Rob, Kelvin. I appreciate you guys taking my call. I just wanted to speak on the wrestling situation real quick. I was watching a podcast. It might have been Thursday or Friday, Cameron. And one of the wrestlers attacked Cameron towards the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So wait a minute, he attacked him?
Not for real.
Oh.
Yeah, and see what you just said, not for real. That's the only way I was reminded that WrestleMania was coming up this weekend. Rob, you're older than me. Kelvin, you're younger than me. I like your chemistry. When I was young and believed in wrestling, I lived in Philadelphia. They would come to the Spectrum.
Right.
They would come to 46th and Market at the Martin Luther King Center. And some of the matches, before the matches, the ring announcer would say, "This match is sanctioned by the New Jersey Athletic Commission." After that night's card on Sunday, I would get the Philadelphia Inquirer, look in the sports section, and see the actual wrestling results. We're talking days of Bob Backlund. I used to hate him because he was so corny. But then he lost the belt to the Iron Sheik. Hulk Hogan came along, took the belt from the Sheik. I was a Hulkamania fan.
Hulkamania running wild. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. When I found out it was fake, you talk about disappointment.
No, I believe it because Chris, thanks for the call. We appreciate you. And
Yes,
Kelvin, you
sir.
know this. And you don't know. You don't, but like when you're a kid, you really don't.
Dude,
you
I
know
was
that.
all in.
You were
I
all
was
in. And then you were
all
like,
in.
what? Wait a minute.
Bro,
what?
Ultimate Warrior, because he was kind of like not the torch bearer after Hulk Hogan, but like the next hot thing.
Right.
If Kobe was Hulk, here comes this LeBron, the Ultimate Warrior. And when I tell you, you couldn't tell me nothing, Rob. I was all in with Ultimate Warrior. Gang. Like I was ready to paint my face. If you'd have said something reckless. But then when you just get hip to, it's choreographed. I don't know. It lost its steam for me, man. And then puberty, girls, I was out. I was just out.
But some guys, man, they are just so into it, and I'm always amazed by it.
And you know what it is? I think what is that thing for me? Like that thing that just because I think at that point I was still playing video games heavy. So I think for me that was my fix, if you will.
Right.
I was playing Madden and 2K and all that. Hanging out in the streets. I threw parties in college, like real parties.
Right.
Like,
I didn't do any. The video games weren't for me at all. I had the original Pong.
Yeah.
But then after that, I never got into the video games. I don't know where I was. Or
You was active in them streets.
You know what I mean? And I
enjoyed the street life.
I used to hang out. You know what I mean?
Hanging out, bars, running. Yeah, like going. Don't stop staring off in the distance, Rob.
That's what you already know. I'm like, yeah, those were good days. I used to hang out and go to. I'm not even kidding you. I'm not. Go to summer school, work. You know what I mean? And hang out late and get up in the morning and in the summer and go to summer school and work.
Rob, that's what we used to do, right? Go to bed at 3, get up at 8.
And then go do your thing. Yeah. It was I got stuff to do, but man.
Yeah, but listen, I told you the economics of wrestling is huge. I was looking up the numbers. Almost 120-something thousand people between the two nights. 300-something million to the city of Las Vegas. 66 at the gate. So it's a world me and you won't understand, but it's massive.
All right. We will see you tomorrow, right? We're going to do that.
That's right.
Can't
wait.
Back
at it tomorrow. Hopefully you had a great night. Make sure you get the podcast. Check us out on YouTube as well. We out.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon is coming up next.
I never miss your radio show. I never hear it, so I never miss it.
Did you hear that?